Chapter 366. Under the explanation of the Level 2 players, the Earth players finally found out about the battle where Nameless defeated Ling Tian. Alright, we were blind. Although there are only 2 people from Earth, each one is stronger than the other. Lei Yin shook her head. Sigh, if I knew you were all so strong, my crystal sword. Tua Lua Walker also sighed. According to their strength, they could have entered Level 2 long ago. Looks like we can't just use the time they entered Level 2 as the only measurement. He's really strong. What kind of world could nurture such an outstanding expert? A sacred sect that was gradually stabilizing its foundation as soon as it arrived and became the city lord of a Level 60 main city. One person alone defeated an army of millions. It's unbelievable. In the beginning, some of the Level 2 players were still complaining about their defeat. But now, the Level 2 players were more willing to befriend the Earth players. It couldn't be helped. Their boss was too strong. After being praised by the Level 2 players, the Earth players suddenly felt very proud. On the other hand, Lu Chen's face didn't change at all. As I said just now, the Level 2 players' game difficulty has reached Hell mode. Under that kind of game difficulty, they still have a large number of players who can adapt. So, our overall strength is still lacking. After seeing a bigger scene, Lu Chen naturally wouldn't be a frog at the bottom of a well. His vision was also much more farsighted than the average player. If you're willing, you can go to the preparatory arena to watch the battle. Look at their equipment and you'll understand the difference between us and them. Tua Luo Walker exclaimed. A full set of dark gold equipment and a few pieces of dazzling gold equipment. Is this the benefit of Hell mode difficulty? Nameless, our level is too low, but we can let the strong players take a look. Lu Chen nodded. After Level 2, everyone should be able to guess that Level 3 will usher in a new round of merger. I don't know what the details are, but I know that it will be beyond our imagination. 9 heavens, 1 heavens, 1 heavens. I believe that in the first heavens, many worlds have already opened up higher difficulties. That's why there is such a big gap in our strength. I don't want the Earth players to be the weakest when we reach the 3rd heavens. Iron Blood Great Wall and the others nodded. Nameless, you're right. There's an old saying in Huaxia, only by experiencing the hardest of hardships can one rise above others. Only by surviving and adapting to Hell mode will we be able to hold our heads high in the future. Lu Chen nodded. Very good. If Solipsistic and I have the chance to find a way to increase the difficulty of the game, I will not hesitate to do so. You should prepare yourselves. This time, the attitude of the players was completely different from before. In the past, even the players on Earth would complain about Solipsistic in their hearts. However, after understanding the situation in other worlds, people began to realize the importance of making the game more difficult. After the meeting, the Earth players immediately organized people to raise money. From the national server, to the regional server, to the provincial server, to the city server, according to the most primitive division, under the organization of the military and the guild alliance, funds were quickly raised. Tua Lua Walker and Lei Yin also went to mobilize the 2nd heaven players. Although both sides were very efficient, there were too many people after all. Lu Chen gave them a day to raise money. The next morning, Lu Chen came to collect the money. The Earth players had raised 50 billion gold coins, and the 2nd heaven players had raised 20 million gold coins. Speaking of which, the players were really poor now. With 50 billion and 20 million gold coins, as well as 300 to 400 people who wanted to watch the battle, Lu Chen went to the preparatory arena. When he arrived at the arena, Lu Chen found that there were already more than 200 people gathered there. Why are there so many people here today? Lu Chen was slightly surprised. Oh, Nameless, we informed some powerful forces. They all sent representatives over. If it's really like what you said, they will use gold coins to buy the battle footage, Tua Luo Walker explained. Lu Chen nodded. I see. Alright, you guys can go down. I'm going to the arena. Walking up to the arena, Lu Qin chose to start the matchmaking. The system is screening your opponent, please wait, screening complete. This battle will be held in District 19. Please wait for your opponent to teleport. Last time, Lu Qin was in an away game. This time, it was his home game. Fortunately, his home game was not completely empty. This time, there were about 500 to 600 people watching the battle. Not long after, a black portal appeared on the arena. From the portal, a bald man slowly walked out. This man was about 1.9 meters tall. His body was muscular and his face was almost devoid of any flesh. He looked almost like a skull. A translucent screen appeared on the arena, showing the basic information of both parties. You have entered the second round of the arena. Activating the full pane system. Information of both parties. Human Galaxy Server District 19, Level 75 Player. Player has chosen to remain anonymous. This server's game difficulty is currently difficult. Human Galaxy Server District 49, Level 78 Player, Panga King of Might. This server's game difficulty is currently hell. When people saw this player, they started to discuss. He really looks different from us, damn, look at his equipment. Most of it is dark gold, and he has at least 4 to 5 pieces of shiny gold equipment. Chapter 367. Not everyone recognized Nameless' strength. For example, the experts who were just here to watch the show. Among them, 22 of them placed a bet of 150,000 gold coins. Tua Lua Walker looked at the others in confusion. Your Stress King won. One of them put his hands behind his back and said calmly, why? Is it strange? A level 60 main city castellan may seem amazing to you, but in our eyes, it's not worth mentioning. Anyone who has participated in the preparatory arena knows how scary the opponents are. It's not an exaggeration to say that a Hell level 70 and above player is qualified to be a level 60 main city castellan in our region. Another person seemed to be a little pretentious with Tualuo Walker. Tualuo, you guys are too reckless. Can't you see the difference in equipment between the two sides? You obviously saw it, but you still bet on Nameless. I think you guys have been fooled by him. The further you go, the more you realize how insignificant you are. Tualuo frowned. He was not worried about losing his money. Everyone had placed their bets willingly, so there was nothing he could do if he lost. However, he suddenly felt that Nameless was different from these people. He had heard of Nameless' deeds. He had defeated the Sacred Gate and massacred the Sacred Gate City. After conquering the Sacred Gate City, Nameless had removed the additional fees in the Sacred Gate City. This time, he had even shared what he had seen and heard in the preparatory arena with everyone. Perhaps those who were not familiar with him would think that he was a little cold, but in reality, he was very easy to get along with. He could chat casually with some of the weaker players. Looking at the so-called great god players around him, they were all very low-key. No one had ever mentioned anything about the preparatory arena. Alright, I finally know why the players on Earth trust him so much. Tualuo Walker looked at the young man in the ring. That guy is a trustworthy friend. Not long after, the match finally began. Earth-level movement technique, God of War's charge. The Herculean King was the first to attack. Lu Chen was slightly stunned. Wasn't this the special effect of the Divine Martial Arts set? Speaking of which, this skill was perfect for close-range combat. Once hit, the stun time was up to 4 seconds. 4 seconds was enough for a strong player to deal tons of damage. Lightless Sky Flame Pillar. Black Coffin Dead Zone. 7 stars chasing the moon. Lu Chen activated his moves at the same time. War God Possession, Demon Transformation, Demon Doppelganger. You want to run? Sorry, but you can't run away. Black Hole Force Field. The Herculean king suddenly pulled out his staff and formed a black sphere above Lu Chen's head. Under the influence of the sphere, Lu Chen was involuntarily pulled towards the center of the sphere. Even if he used 7 stars chasing the moon and moved quickly, he couldn't break free. Fuck this, what kind of cultivation technique is this? Leng Noa and the others looked at the black sphere in shock. Boss can't break free from that area at all. All of Boss' clones have been sucked in as well. This is going to be troublesome. Although Lu Chen wasn't completely sucked in, his range of movement instantly became very limited. His range of interaction was no more than a radius of 20 meters. This should also be an Earth-grade cultivation technique. So abnormal, it must be an Earth-grade cultivation technique, at least a low-grade Earth-grade cultivation technique. Lu Chen's movement was restricted. At the same time, the Herculean king coldly snorted, "My black hole force field specializes in fanciness. Within the same level, any movement technique can't escape. Sorry, the battle is over." The Herculean king smiled, psionic arrow rain. Pangu Herculean king looked like a burly man, who would have thought that he was actually a prophet. Prophet? Humph, then you're unlucky to have met me. After saying that, Lu Chen summoned the triple door! You can affect movement techniques, but unfortunately, mine is not a movement technique. To be precise, it's a teleportation technique. Lu Chen fiercely entered one of the triple doors. In the next second, he appeared in front of Ali. Lu Chen pulled out his dragon crystal bow, flash shoot. Nameless also has a dazzling gold bow. Tua Lua Walker looked at the bow in Lu Chen's hand in surprise. He had a deep impression of this bow. His skills are very similar to Mad Demon's. Iron Blood Wall said, "This is not surprising. Nameless and Mad Demon often farm together. This bow is not the only one in the entire server. I don't know if the attributes of these 2 bows are the same or not. Although this weapon is not the only one in the entire server, but there will definitely not be a second one, because it's too strong," Tua Lua Walker said with certainty. Although Tua Lua Walker had doubts in his heart, it was obviously not the time to dwell on this issue. They had bet all their assets on this match. Let's watch the match first. What? It can actually escape from the black hole force field. The Herculean king's eyes widened, but he had no time to think. Earth-grade spiritual shield. The Herculean king raised one hand, and a blue light shield appeared on his body. Seeing the spiritual shield used by the opponent, the experts in District 19 could not help but exclaim. Damn, it's an Earth-grade shield-type skill. Although the spiritual shield was different, compared to the blood sacrifice shield and the undead shield, its biggest feature was that it did not have an upper limit of defense. When receiving any attack other than Heavenly Wrath attack, the damage received would be first offset by the spiritual shield, and as long as there was pure spiritual energy, the spiritual shield would always exist. Currently, many prophets use spiritual shields, and the consumption ratio was 1 to 10. 1 point of pure spiritual energy would block 10 points of damage. However, the Herculean king used an Earth-grade spiritual shield, and 1 point of pure spiritual energy would block more damage. As for the exact amount, no one in District 19 knew. They all use Earth-grade techniques. Is this the benefit of Hell mode difficulty? It seems that Nameless is right. The higher the difficulty, the better it is for our future development. I don't know if Nameless can win, I'm starting to worry now. Many people had seen the power of the Dragon Crystal Bow, but they did not know that the Dragon Crystal Bow was actually a prophet's nightmare. Spiritual Shield. Humph, I'm sorry, but no matter how high the level of your spiritual shield is, you're still going to die in front of me. The corners of Lu Chen's mouth curled up. An invisible black crystal arrow had already landed on the Herculean king's spiritual energy shield. -0, double critical hit, absorbed. What a joke, my spiritual shield's absorption ratio is 1 to 100. I'm afraid that you won't be able to break my shield even if you use up all your spiritual energy. The Herculean king was even more confident. Go to hell, elemental curse, thunder curse. Elemental curse? If you can use a single spell in front of me, I'll consider it my loss. As soon as he finished speaking, Lu Chen's second arrow had already arrived. -0, double critical hit, absorbed. Debuff, confusion, casting speed reduced by 0. 5 seconds, double critical hit, stun for 1 second, resisted for 1 second. It actually caused stun. Everyone was puzzled. Damn, wasn't that the arrow just now the most common one? Why did it cause stun? Maybe his bow's attribute is different from Mad Demon's. While the Herculean king was stunned, Lu Chen's doppelgangers were also freed. The spiritual arrow rain had reduced 1/3 of their HP, which showed that the Herculean king's damage was still very high. A group of doppelgangers began to besiege the Herculean king. Absorb, 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 absorb. Unlimited absorption. However, from the first stun, the Herculean king did not wake up again. What was even more tragic was that the casting time of the Herculean king's elemental curse, thunder curse, had been reduced by 600 seconds. In other words, if the Herculean king wanted to use thunder curse, he would have to prepare for 10 minutes just to cast the spell. The Herculean king looked at his casting progress bar, and his face turned green. Damn, it's fine if a melee fighter can stun infinitely, but why can an archer do it? Is he fucking cheating? I can't use thunder curse anymore. Chapter 368. The Abyss Dragon Crystal Bow was simply a prophet's nightmare. Ever since the Herculean king released that thunder curse, there was no chance for him to wake up. After holding on for a while, the Herculean king's pure aura was completely exhausted. When the spirit shield was depleted, the prophet's low HP was finally revealed. More than 800,000 HP could not withstand a few arrows from Lu Chen, and he was instantly killed by a group of clones. The winner of this competition is an anonymous player from District 19. Congratulations on advancing to the third round. You can apply for the third round at any time after you are ready. The lottery system is calculating. You have received a total of 832.6 million gold coins. The reward has been sent to your backpack. Lu Chen opened his backpack and took a look. The amount of money inside was a bit scary. The players on Earth seemed to have realized the importance of gold coins in the second heaven. The Jotian official website on Earth had opened the game currency trading. The current price of gold coins was 10 renminbi for 1 gold coin. If that was the case, it meant that he had 800 billion on him now. According to Tua Lua Wanderer, the price of gold coins seemed to be even higher in other worlds. It was a pity that this money was not all his, otherwise, it would be quite exciting. But just seeing this income, the other players could not stay calm. We won, we won. Ha, the odds are 1/6, we earned 60%. More than 80 billion, damn, that's a lot of money. The second heaven players were even more excited. It was too difficult for them to make money now. These former experts were rich if they had a few dozen gold coins on them. Now, every gold coin was precious. I should have bet more, what a loss. Fortunately, I bet 50 gold coins, now I have earned 30 gold coins, hee, awesome. And those District 19 experts were all pale. When the odds were out, they thought that although the Herculean king's odds were low, they would definitely make a profit. So, they bet a lot of money, but now they lost everything. My 10,000 gold coins. He actually won, that guy is an archer, how can he stun infinitely? This is cheating. It seems that he will stun with a critical hit, but why is his critical hit rate so high? It can't be a 100% critical hit, right? Every time he attacks, it's a critical hit, who can withstand that? And those clones, it's rare to see a normal damage value. Coupled with the critical hit stun, it's a perfect match. The Herculean king still had 1 HP left. He looked at Lu Chen unwillingly. You. I actually lost to a guy from a difficult world. I refuse to accept this. Lu Chen smiled. No matter how many times you fight me, the result will be the same. Your black hole force field can't break my triple door, and with my Chaos God Heaven counter wizard, you have no chance at all. Even though the Herculean king wasn't convinced, after thinking about it for a moment, he found that the other party was right. Originally, he had planned to use the black hole force field to forcefully pull his opponent over, then use a series of skills to finish him off. Speaking of which, this combination was still very difficult to counter. Unfortunately, his combination of punches was completely countered by his opponent. If a prophet like him couldn't cast spells, then what was the point of fighting? Thinking of this, Pangu had no choice but to swallow the resentment in his heart. Your bow. Why have I never seen it before? I've fought in so many arenas and met so many archers, but I've never seen anyone use this bow. Where did you get it from? Many experts pricked up their ears at this moment. If they knew where this bow came from, it was likely that all the archers would go all out to farm it. Lu Chen looked at the bow in his hand. To be honest, he was really liking this black crystal bow more and more. Lu Chen smiled slightly. No way, you've never seen this bow before? This bow was the only one dropped from the death door of the 99 life and death doors. It was the most difficult death door of all the death doors. It was set to be unable to use any skills, so it was almost impossible to clear it. Moreover, it only dropped a normal black crystal abyss bow. In order to let this weapon display the true power of the strongest bow, one had to clear all the death doors and obtain the reward of strengthening a dazzling gold equipment. All in all, although the black crystal abyss bow was not the only equipment, Lu Chen also learned a piece of information from Pangu's mouth. Considering that it was impossible for Pangu to have seen all the archers, but at least one thing was certain, the black crystal abyss bow was an extremely rare dazzling gold equipment. Sorry, I'm here to fight in the arena, not to share my experience of farming treasures. Lu Chen smiled slightly. As an earthling, it was normal for him to help the earthling players, but he had never forgotten his human nature. In this world where the strong preyed on the weak, he had never thought of being a good person. Protecting himself was the most basic operation. Pangu sized up this young man again. He was very strong, but what was more rare was that he had never forgotten himself. In this world, he seemed to have always maintained his original heart. He carefully explored, all right, you are indeed a terrifying opponent. The Herculean king stood up, and a black hole teleportation door appeared behind him. Kid, with a guy like you, I believe that your world shouldn't be far from upgrading to hell mode. What I want to tell you is to maintain your current mentality and work hard to become stronger. Because no matter how strong you are, once you reach the third heaven, it will be your nightmare. Lu Chen narrowed his eyes slightly. Do you know what's in the third heaven? Is there a wider range of servers? The Herculean king smiled slightly and said mysteriously, I can only tell you one thing. Every heaven domain is a heaven, and every heaven domain is not a simple unification. What you will see is a world that you can't even imagine. Alright, I hope that I won't meet a pervert like you next time. Damn it, I'm being cursed to death. Pangu Herculean king was completely different from Sunset and Stars. They were both defeated. Sunset was clamoring for revenge, but the Herculean king was able to talk calmly with Lu Chen. Lu Chen did not have the slightest hostility towards such a generous opponent who was willing to accept his loss. Instead, he had a good impression of him. Actually, you're quite strong. The next time we meet, I'll try not using a bow. I think that's the real challenge. Lu Chen said sincerely. Not using a bow. The Herculean king frowned slightly before revealing a confident smile. If an archer doesn't use a bow, what's the point of fighting? Actually, as long as you change to a bow, you won't have any chance of winning. Lu Chen smiled back and did not answer, because this was a question that had no conclusion. However, in Lu Chen's heart, he he was also filled with confidence. Archer? Who said he was an archer? I hope that we'll have the chance to meet again next time, although the probability is too small. The Herculean king shook his head and walked towards the teleportation door. Kid, if fate wills it, we'll meet again. Pangu Herculean king disappeared into the black hole. Lu Chen's heart was filled with an indescribable excitement and anticipation. If I can meet more pure experts like this, that would be a lucky thing. Turning around, Lu Chen looked at the audience. Hey, I'll start the next round. Do you guys still want to bet? Yes. Everyone said in unison. Interestingly, not only the Great Wall of Iron and Blood and Tua Lua Walker wanted to continue the bet, those experts who were pessimistic about Lu Chen also wanted to continue the bet. It was unknown if the listeners were being intentional or if they were already angry from embarrassment. Lu Chen's words to the Great Wall of Iron and Blood and the others were taken as a provocation by Lu Chen. This daddy lost money, and you still ask me if I want to continue? Interesting. Very good, you still want to continue? I'm afraid you won't dare to continue. Rest assured, we'll definitely continue the bet. I don't believe that you can still advance. The money I lost today, this daddy will definitely win it back. A few million isn't much. Let's have some fun today. Lu Chen frowned. These guys were so excited. He didn't even ask them, however, were they sure they wanted to continue the bet? Chapter 369. In the third match, Lu Chen was fighting in an away game, so the others could not see the battle. About 20 minutes later, Lu Chen came out of the portal. Everyone saw Nameless, full health. Boss, did you win? 10 steps shouted from below the stage. Lu Chen smiled and showed the system message he received to the others. The winner of this match is an anonymous player from District 19. Congratulations on advancing to the 4th round. You can apply for the 4th round at any time when you are ready. The betting system is calculating. You have received a total of 128,052,16 million gold coins. The reward has been sent to your backpack. My odds are still 1-6. Lu Chen shook his head and said greedily, if only it was higher. There was a sudden cheer from below the stage. Oh yeah, 50 billion became 128 billion. It more than doubled. Ha, that's great. I've made money. Boss, you are too strong. It's already the 4th round. Lu Chen smiled. It's okay. The opponent this time was quite strong. It was a monk who focused on defense. It took me 20 minutes. But boss, why are you still full health? He didn't take out your health. Lu Chen shook his head. He took out 2/3 of my health, but I drained it back. Although Lu Chen said it casually, those who knew him knew that his health was 4.2 million. 2/3 of his health would be 2.8 million. To be able to take out 2.8 million of boss's health, the opponent was very strong. Moreover, Nameless' lifesteal was only about 15%. Even if he attacked 200,000 times, he would only recover 30,000 points each time. To drain 2.8 million, how many times would he have to attack? The opponent's health and defense were amazing. As the number of matches increased, the battle became more and more difficult. Lu Chen did not think much of it. Fighting a warrior was not as dangerous as fighting the Herculean king. If he was caught by the Herculean king's black hole force field, he would not be able to take out 2/3 of his health. After a short break, 20 minutes later, Lu Chen started the 4th match. This time, Lu Chen was the host. A portal appeared on the stage and his opponent appeared. A man and a beast came out of the portal. Information of both sides. Human Galaxy Server District 19, Level 75 Anonymous Player. This server's game difficulty is currently hard. Human Galaxy Server Area 2, Level 81 Player Python King. This server's game difficulty is currently Hell Mode. The winning players will enter the 5th round. The top 8 of this round's preparatory arena. It's another Hell Mode world. Heavens, is everyone else in Hell Mode except us? Hell Mode equipment is even better. Those who aren't Hell Mode opponents have already been eliminated in the 1st round. It's almost impossible to see anyone who isn't Hell Mode in the 3rd round. This time, it's actually a beast tamer among spirit controllers. What kind of beast is that? It doesn't seem very ferocious. It's not that big. An old player widened his eyes and said to the earth player beside him in shock, not fierce. Brother, that's Fu Dilong. He's the most troublesome baby I know. Their attacks are very high, their movements are very fast, and they can shrink the ground to attack. Moreover, their attacks have a passive effect of entanglement. Once you're entangled, your HP will drop super fast and you'll be silenced. Then, just wait for your death. It's that strong. The earth player was shocked. Of course it's strong. If we encountered it in easy mode, we would have been wiped out. And look at its avatar. It's a dark gold avatar. This means that it's a dark gold baby. It might be a boss. This. Bringing a Hell Mode boss. How are we going to fight it? Beast tamers have an advantage against archers. The baby chases and bites while the master attacks from behind. He's also using the dazzling gold bow. No wonder he's the opponent for the 4th round. He's getting stronger and stronger. In the past, people guessed that Nameless might be a pugilist. In the beginning, pugilists were all melee classes. However, in Firmament City, pugilists could change classes into melee and ranged classes. Ranged classes were archers. After the Herculean King said that Nameless was an archer, people were even more certain that Nameless' main class was an archer. In the 2nd round, Liu Chen's equipment countered the Pangu Herculean King. However, the tables had turned. This time, his class was countered by someone else. The Beast King frowned slightly as he looked at Liu Chen. No way, hard mode. Kid, how did you get into the 4th round? What kind of trash did you meet in the previous rounds? I'm so lucky this time. Not only did I meet a weakling, but he's also an archer. This is a guaranteed entry into the top 8. Maybe I can get 1st place this time. Then I can. He, Immortal Trail Forest. I, the Beast King, am coming. When I get to the Immortal Trail Forest, I'll take the treasure and go to Divine Herbalist Valley to get more pills. He. From then on, my Beast King attributes will increase tremendously. Then I can go to the Azura Field and torture the weak. When the time comes, I'll use the Beast Core to evolve the country bumpkin into a dazzling gold pet. Then I can enter the heart-refining courtyard. My status and position will reach the peak and I'll finally win the heart of a beauty. Ha, I'm indeed a man favored by the heavens. Liu Chen looked at his opponent in shock. This guy hadn't even entered the top 8 yet, but he was already fantasizing about something far away. Brother. Wake up, can you not think so far ahead? We haven't fought yet. The Beast King put away the smile on Liu Chen's face and became serious again. He glanced at Liu Chen and said, Fight? Do we still need to fight? Have you seen my baby? You're a weakling from a difficult world and an archer. My friend, you're fully aware of the pain now. Don't make things difficult for yourself. You're already very lucky to be able to enter the top 16. Enough is enough. I don't want to beat you up. Be good, go back and practice. Next time, try to get a good ranking. Liu Chen was speechless. This guy was here to be funny. He looked quite funny too. His head was bigger than the average human's. One look and you could tell that he was a fool. However, this person was not too aggressive. He was not like Sunset and the hot-tempered warrior from the previous round who had a sense of superiority. Forget it, thanks for the reminder. I still plan to fight for it this time. Lu Chen could only say so. During the betting session, Lu Chen's odds finally increased to 1-1. 8. The Beast King's odds were 1-1. 1. This seemed to be the lowest odds. Sigh, the odds are so low. I can't make much money. Boring. The Beast King shook his head. Sigh, my friend, I bet 100 gold on you. Take it as my appreciation for your unyielding spirit. Sure enough, his brain was not very bright. Finally, the betting results came out. When he saw the number behind the anonymous player, the Beast King was shocked. What the fuck, 128 billion. What the hell is this? Could it be that, you're the hope of the entire village? Lu Chen nodded helplessly. That's right. I'm the best in our village. They're betting all their money on me. The global village had become a village. Sigh, you're so stupid. You're giving money to Tianqing. You're from a lousy difficult world. Look at all your trashy equipment. How much money can you have? Sigh. You're betting all your family's money. If you lose, won't you be scolded to death? Lu Chen could not get a word in edgewise. He could only listen to him blabber on and on. Sigh, kid. When I brought people from our world to the arena, they were the ones who volunteered to bet. In the end, after I lost, I was scolded like a dog. Even the woman I loved looked down on me. As he spoke, the Beast King suddenly became dejected. After a long while, the Beast King let out a long sigh. Kid, do you have a girl you like? The Beast King's sudden question really stunned Lu Chen. Not only was Lu Chen stunned, but the girls below the stage were also stunned. Suddenly, their hearts seemed to have stopped beating. They were more nervous than watching Nameless fight. Yes, did he have a girl he liked? Chapter 370. Lu Chen had a lot of girls around him, and each one was prettier than the other. Some were the most popular anchors, known as Zhoutian's #1 beauty, some were rising stars, some were rich young ladies from the anime world, and some were like fairies from another world. Lu Chen didn't know. He was here to fight in the arena, so why did they talk about personal matters? This big-headed Beast King's brain was indeed different from the average person's. Actually, I don't know. Besides, even if I like someone, that person might not like me back. Actually, in my world, I'm not very handsome. The girls below the stage were anxious. Did this guy really think that way? He was so good at guessing other people's thoughts when he played games. How could he not know when he encountered such a situation? The Beast King nodded. It's right for you to feel inferior. Anyway, I think you're quite ugly. But I think the people here are quite ugly. Their heads are so small, they're not cute at all. Brother, I'm really sorry. I really can't understand your feelings. After all, I'm still very good looking. I don't have your troubles. The big-headed Beast King shook his head. Lu Chen was speechless. This guy actually thought he was handsome. Well, although they were all humans, there were definitely differences. Even foreigners couldn't understand the aesthetics, let alone aliens. The Beast King thought for a while and suddenly said, Hey, brother, I'm not going to fight this match. You win. Huh? What's there to about? The top 8 is easy for me, but for you, this might be your only chance. The Beast King looked at Lu Chen sincerely. It's okay to be ugly. As long as you have a reputation and status, you still have a chance. Courageously pursue the girl you like, just like me. Even if she doesn't accept me now, I won't give up. Lu Chen looked at the Python Beast King in shock. He suddenly felt that this guy was too cute. Don't you want to win the competition, walk to the peak of life, and marry a beautiful woman? Are you sure you want to give up? Yes, your bet is too big. Once you lose, you might not be able to raise your head in your original world. I don't want to ruin you for my dreams. Besides, like I said just now, the top 8 is too easy for me. Brother, those who can enter the top 8 are all super experts. Don't place such a huge bet anymore. Alright, I choose to forfeit this match. Fuck. A living lay foam. Lu Chen was stunned. At the same time, the experts who had bet on the Beast King were also stunned. They almost collapsed. In order to recoup their losses, they had decided to make an even bigger bet this time around. Initially, when they saw that it was a beast tamer duel, they thought that they had a good chance of winning. But to think that their hopes would be dashed in such a manner. No. I object. You can't abstain. Yes, I bet 30,000 gold coins on you. You can't just give up like that. This is a rigged match. The Beast King was about to leave, but when he heard the people below the stage shouting fiercely, he turned his head and looked at them. All of you, shut up. I despise people like you the most. If I want to forfeit, I will forfeit. What can you do about it? If you are not convinced, do you want me to come down and teach you a lesson? Lu Chen was not afraid of the Beast King, but when these experts saw the Beast King, the pressure was too great. Just his baby alone was enough to make them suffer a great deal. Not to mention that he still had the dazzling gold bow in his hands. Brother, be careful of these people. I think they are up to no good. The Beast King warned Lu Chen. Alright, I am leaving. If you have the chance, come and play with me. I will introduce you to my goddess and let you know what it means to be as beautiful as a fairy. A big-headed beauty appeared in Lu Chen's mind, but he still felt that something was wrong. Alright, thanks. Congratulations on successfully advancing. You have entered the top 8 of this round of the arena. The betting system is settling the accounts for you. You have received 23,493,880,000 gold coins. It has been sent to your backpack. Please check it. Lu Chen's initial capital of 4.5 million was one round more than the others. Now, it had increased to 33 million. This kind of compound interest growth was too terrifying. For no reason, he was given a victory by the Beast King. Lu Chen smiled and shook his head. If there was a chance, he really wanted to see this funny guy again. By the way, do you still want to continue gambling? Lu Chen asked. Tua Lua Walker thought for a moment and said, Mr. Nameless, how about this? After all, this money was pooled by everyone. We can't make decisions on behalf of everyone. So, can you give us 40 million first? We will bet the rest of the money. That's right. This way, we will earn and not lose. The Great Wall of Iron and Blood looked at the others. It seemed that they also wanted to use this method. Nameless, we also want to be steady on our side. What the Beast King said just now makes sense. If we really lose all of them, there will be too many people. At that time, there might be people who are dissatisfied with you. Of course, Lu Chen did not care. He took out 2 times their capital and distributed it to everyone. Lu Chen rounded it up. There were 100 billion players on Earth, 50 million players in the second heaven, and 30 million for himself. All of this money would continue to be bet until Lu Chen won or lost. There are still 3 matches left. Let's fight together today. In the quarterfinals, Lu Chen fought in an away game. Everyone waited here for only 10 minutes before he came out of the portal. When he came out, Lu Chen's HP was black. The corner of his mouth was full of blood. It was obvious that he had received a serious injury. Boss! Wild Waves and the others rushed to the arena. Lu Chen looked at everyone and forced a smile. Don't worry, I'm fine. I won. What? You won? Yes. Lu Chen stood up by himself. After experiencing a lot of battles, Lu Chen could already adapt to a full-pain competition. This time, Lu Chen won relatively easily. Although it seemed that he lost a lot of HP, he still had 3 lives. The opponent had equipment that made all the HP recovery effects ineffective. In order to save time, Lu Chen did not hesitate to lose a lot of HP and quickly defeated his opponent. The odds are 1/8. Hee, I've made a fortune. Nameless, why don't we stop fighting? Look at how badly injured you are, Stardust said worriedly. It's okay, it's just a small injury. I know what I'm doing. I'll be fine after some rest. Half an hour later, Lu Chen started the quarterfinals. Information of both sides. Human Galaxy Server District 19, Level 75 Player, Anonymous Player. This server's game difficulty is currently hard. Human Galaxy Server District 44, Level 84 Player, Eternal Sunset. This server's game difficulty is currently hell. Player from District 44. Lu Chen suddenly remembered that his first match was against Sunset Stars from the 44th District. This guy was also from the 44th District, and even the prefix was the same. Could it be that they were from the same guild? The opponent was tall, about 2-3 meters, and had a crouching earth dragon beside him. He had his hands behind his back and was sizing up Lu Chen. Kid, it seems like you heard my prayers. That's why you made it to the quarterfinals. The man's tone was cold and hostile. Don't doubt it. You're right. I'm the master of Sunset Stardust that you defeated in the first round. Since we've met, I'll teach you a lesson this time and avenge my disciple. Lu Chen narrowed his eyes. This guy gave off a strong vibe. Chapter 371. This time, Lu Chen's opponent was Dusk Star's master. Dusk Stars had shown his super strong combo ability during the competition and had caused Lu Chen a lot of trouble. His master's command was definitely better. If he was not careful, he might lose his life. Although Lu Chen had 3 lives, and every time he was reborn, all of his skills would be refreshed. However, his current requirement for himself was that he would never easily lose any of his lives. His opponents had always been more than just players. You are Dusk Star's master, but you are not qualified to be my master. Lu Chen looked at him coldly. Dusk Eternal snorted. Is that so? You have a cheap mouth. I will slap you later. Lu Chen frowned slightly. This guy was even more arrogant than Sunset and Stars. It's true that like disciple, like master. Since you have so little, I will not go easy on you. The audience below could also see that this match was the most tense one so far. After the bets were placed, the countdown began. 3, 2, 1, start. The moment the match started, Fu Dilong received the order to pounce on Lu Chen. As the most difficult monster to deal with, Fu Dilong's movement speed was extremely fast. The most annoying thing about it was that it could burrow into the ground. After being attacked by it, there was a high chance of being entangled. Once entangled, it would be troublesome. Lightless Sky Flame Pillar. Black Coffin Dead Zone. Fu Dilong was actually able to pass through the Lightless Sky Flame Pillar without being hit. At the same time, it continued to pounce on Lu Chen. Fuck, it dodged the Lightless Sky Flame Pillar so easily. It is too agile. That's why the bigger the baby, the better. Fu Dilong's dodging ability is too strong. Don't get targeted by it in the wild. Before the audience could react, Fu Dilong had already arrived in front of Nameless. It raised its claws and clawed at Lu Chen. However, Lu Chen's attention was not on Fu Dilong. He was paying attention to the guy standing not far away. Quick movement. Just as Lu Chen used a skill to evade Crouching Dragon, Eternal Sunset moved as well. If I knew you would use this move, I'll show you the true power of Instant Shadow. Flickering Shadow, Backstab. Before Lu Chen could finish his rapid movement, Eternal suddenly disappeared. In the next moment, he had already appeared behind Lu Chen, thrusting his spear towards Lu Chen's back. Lu Chen snorted coldly. I knew you would do that. Move quickly. If you know, why are you still running? Do you think you can run? Instant shadows, unlimited suppression. Eternal's figure disappeared again and instantly caught up with Nameless, who had not stopped. Spear King, General Stab. Seeing this scene, everyone was already dumbfounded. Damn, so fast. He caught up to Brother John Doe before he even used up his quick shift. This is too exaggerated. Wait, isn't he a beast tamer? Why isn't he using a bow and arrow, but close combat instead? That guy is chasing after Brother Nameless to attack. Spear. That's not right, isn't a spear a martial artist's weapon? Beast tamers should be a branch of spirit masters, why would they use a long melee weapon? In Jiutian, there were no restrictions on what kind of weapon a class could use. However, the problem was that most of the prophet's class skills required a magic staff as a medium. On the other hand, beast tamers usually used long-range weapons as a medium. Unless they gave up many of their own beast tamer class skills, who would use a spear? Wait, that's not right. Tua Lua Walker's eyes suddenly widened. His crouching dragon has hunter's sense, which means that he is definitely a beast tamer. However, his other skills are all close combat, which seems to be more compatible with pugilist's close combat skills. Could it be that he has two classes? What? Two classes? At the side, Stardust and the others looked at Tua Lua Walker in shock. How can he have two classes? Every class had its own attributes and characteristics, which were also known as class talents. For example, there were two branches of monks, the Arhat and the Buddha seal. One was a melee super meat shield that had more outstanding HP and defense, while the other was a Buddhist mage that was similar to a prophet. Its spiritual growth, elemental affinity, and Buddhist comprehension were more outstanding. Imagine, if a person became both Arhat and Buddha seal at the same time, would he have super high health and defense, as well as a strong Buddha seal talent? Tua Lua Walker shook his head. I don't know the specifics, but if he really has two classes, and it's a pugilist and beast tamer, then he would be much stronger than the average player. At this time, an expert who was watching the battle coldly said, he should be a player with two classes. This kind of player was only qualified to cultivate two classes before level 100 because of a great opportunity. His strength is much stronger than the average player. Nameless is done for this time. Eternal Sunset was harder to deal with than Sunset and Stars. His use of instant shadow was more perfect. Every time, before Lu Chen could finish using instant shadow, he had already caught up with Lu Chen. What Lu Chen did not dare to underestimate was that crouching dragon was equally difficult to deal with. It would suddenly burst out from the ground and attack him from both sides. Instant shadow of the night. Flash shot. 7 stars chasing moon. Every time he moved, Lu Chen was instantly suppressed. He did not even have a chance to breathe. Kid, don't think that I don't know. Quickly use it when it respawns, or you won't be able to use it in the future. Spear King, Army Destroyer. With a poof, the golden spear instantly pierced through Lu Chen's right shoulder. Minus 120,000. Minus 100,000, bleeding. Debuff, defense break, defense reduced by 70%, lasts for 20 seconds. Debuff, bleeding, 1 stack loses 5% of max health every second, lasts for 10 seconds. Debuff, slow and weak, 1 stack movement speed reduced by 60%, skill damage reduced by 20%, lasts for 5 seconds. 1 spear directly added 3 debuffs. At the same time, 2 of them were stacked debuffs. As long as he was hit again, the effect would double again. This should be the special effect of Eternal Sunset's Golden Spear. The effect was quite overbearing. Still not using Demon King's will? Then you can only die. An expert like Eternal Sunset naturally would not let go of this opportunity. Spear King, General Stab. There was no need to say more about how terrifying this skill was. The damage was secondary. When Sunset and Stars used the combo, it started with this skill. General Stab sent him flying, followed by Flowing Cloud, Ice Dragon Pierce, Ice Seal, and then other skills. After being hit by this skill, there would be a long chain of damage. What was even more terrifying was how strong Eternal Sunset was. His previous army destroyer did not even need to stop. His spear was still in Lu Chen's shoulder, but he actually continued to stab and directly changed to General Stab. Minus 520,000. Debuff, knocked away. However, after being knocked away, Eternal Sunset did not follow up with another attack. He stood with his spear and looked at Lu Chen, who had fallen to the ground with disdain. You dared to put away your dark armor during the battle with Stars, deliberately insulting him. Then I'll let you go this time. Now you understand, right? In front of me, you're not even trash. Everyone was shocked. Oh my god, he actually beat up Nameless to the point that he couldn't even fight back. This person is too strong. He actually dared to stop at a time like this. He's insulting Nameless. Hee, I already said that Nameless level is not worth mentioning in front of the super experts of other servers. Now you see, in front of a real expert, he lost like a dog. Ning Shuang could not hear anything at that moment. Her eyes were only on the man who had fallen to the side. That was her master. It was also the first time she saw her master being defeated. Master. Ning Shuang's eyes were wet. Earth's starting point was too low. They could not compete with others at first heaven. At second heaven, they could not even handle hard mode anymore. How could they compete with players at hell mode? Everyone's achievements would be affected by their environment. Unless one's strength was heaven-defying and could break this unbreakable shackle. Could he? At that moment, Nameless' eyes strangely emitted a green glow. What's going on? What's wrong with Nameless' eyes? Is this a special effect? Is it a debuff? Why is this happening? Is there a problem with the system? Why would a person's eyes emit a green glow? That's scary. Nameless, give up and go offline. No one knew why, except for Lu Chen himself. Because his anger had been completely ignited. His human skin could barely cover his demonic eyes. Climbing up from the ground, Lu Chen suppressed his anger. Please, calm down. Mad God and Nameless are still useful. I can't expose myself now. However, he could not suppress his anger. His eyes were like a demon from the abyss, staring at his opponent. Suddenly, Lu Chen's lips curled up slightly, and he laughed maniacally. Ha 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 ha, good, very good. Eternal, you've made me excited. Chapter 372. It had been a long time since he had met such a strong opponent. Lu Chen's only feeling was excitement. There was no point in being invincible. Boring, lonely, lost, without a goal. If Jiutian only had 2 heavenly domains, Lu Chen might be satisfied with his current strength. However, Jiutian had 9 heavenly domains. He did not want to be a frog in a well forever. Only the strong could stimulate his potential. Only the strong could make him feel excited. Eternal Sunset was such a strong person. Eternal Sunset frowned slightly. After his disciple Sunset Stars was defeated, he was depressed and wanted to avenge his master. However, this person was getting stronger and stronger. Was this the difference between the two of them? I admire your fighting spirit. Unfortunately, in the face of absolute strength, anger is useless. Eternal Sunset's face was as calm as still water. Lu Chen cracked a smile. You might be mistaken about one thing. Do you really think you can beat me? No, you just made the competition more interesting. You're still so stubborn when you're about to die. Next time, I won't go easy on you. So much nonsense. Let's fight and we'll know. Lu Qin held the dazzling gold bow and stood up straight. He cracked his neck and looked at eternal sunset. Are you ready? I can wait for your infinite suppression to cool down. Eternal sunset snorted. Arrogant. What, are you worried that my infinite suppression has a limit? Don't worry, you won't live to see that day. Let me shatter your confidence. Instant shadows, infinite suppression. Spear King, Army Destroyer. Keep running for your life. I like to see you run for your life like a stray dog. For some reason, Nameless did not use any movement skills to dodge. He was staring at Eternal, who had already disappeared. What's going on? Why isn't Boss dodging? Maybe the high-intensity battle just now has slowed down Boss's reaction. Their battle is too fast. Every time, it's only a fraction of a second. You have to focus all your attention. But this time, Boss's reaction is really slow. Tualua Walker frowned. Nameless did not dodge. Actually, in a situation where he didn't have a higher level of movement technique, it didn't seem to make any difference whether he dodged or not. Could it be that he had to face it head-on? However, the overbearing aspect of Shadow Flash was that the moment the skill was activated, Eternal Shadow could attack. When infinite suppression arrived in front of the opponent, the attack would be completed. The combination of Great Gunner and Shadow Flash was enough to suffocate a person. Dodging in advance was useless, not to mention that the opponent had already used infinite suppression. Nameless had yet to make a move. Looks like he lost. The moment Eternal appeared in front of Lu Qin, his spear had already pierced towards him. But at this critical moment, Lu Qin suddenly moved. Rapid movement. His spear had firmly pierced empty air. Eternal stared at Lu Qin, who had appeared in the distance, in disbelief. He then looked at the empty space before him, shock filling his face. In the past, Nameless could also dodge his skills. However, because Nameless dodged in a hurry every time, Eternal had enough time to decide whether to stab her or not. However, this time, he thought that he would definitely hit, so he fully activated the skill. In the end, he stabbed Nameless. Little May looked at the dazed Eternal Shadow strangely and asked her brother, "Brother, why do I feel that Eternal's movement is so big this time?" He's stunned. Ing Jun frowned. It's the same dodging, but the two times are completely different. One is a random dodging, the other is an opportunistic dodging. In other words, Boss has already calculated the time and position of infinite suppression. He also calculated the short time difference between Great Gunner's spear and infinite suppression. This time difference. Is there? I feel that it's completely coherent. There is. If there isn't, Boss won't be able to dodge. It's just that the time difference is only a few tenths of a second. Stardust shook his head. If this isn't a coincidence, then... Boss, he's too strong. Tualua Walker shook his head and sighed. Once the Army Destroyer hits, it'll be a series of attacks. It might even be able to kill Nameless instantly. However, Nameless dared to use such a method to dodge the enemy's attack. Alright, I admit that I only saw his equipment and the advantage of his skills. However, this time, I'm impressed by his calculation, prediction, and mentality. Eternal kept his spear and turned to look at Lu Qin. You dodged it just now, didn't you? Otherwise, if you really have such reflexes, you should have attacked when I paused. It's because you weren't sure if you could dodge it that you wasted this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Lu Qin smiled. If I'm not wrong, Crouching Dragon should be right beside you. If I attacked just now, I would have been attacked by it. I might have been entangled. Eternal's expression didn't change. This guy actually took Crouching Dragon into consideration. However, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I've already broken your instant shadow. Without this skill, you've already lost. Arrogant. I'd like to see how you're going to break my instant shadow. Instant shadow, unlimited suppression. Spear King, general stab. Lu Chen still didn't move. Although Eye of the Gods was useless against Eternal, he could still predict Crouching Dragon's location. At this moment, Crouching Dragon was moving rapidly underground, heading towards him. If not for Crouching Dragon, Lu Chen would have definitely attacked Eternal. It seemed that Eternal and Crouching Dragon's coordination was like heaven and earth. If he wanted to kill Eternal, he would have to kill Crouching Dragon first. You like to dig underground, right? Lu Chen snorted coldly as he calculated his opponent's attack. Now's the time. Underground magma. Rapid movement. Before rapid movement, Lu Chen activated another skill. The location of the skill was right below where he was originally standing. The ground trembled and cracked. Magma spewed out from the ground like a volcanic eruption. However, this wasn't the main point. The main point was that the enemy at the core of the magma would be stunned. Crouching Dragon, who was underground, would also be exposed along with the magma. For example, Crouching Dragon and Eternal. Oh my god, he's stunned. How is this possible? Everyone was shocked. One is underground and the other can't even see his figure. How can he predict that he'll be stunned? This isn't a problem of prediction because there's no way to predict it. This is a result of precise calculation and understanding of the opponent's mind. Eternal was originally confident that Instant Shadow could definitely dodge a skill like Underground Magma. However, the problem was that he had only seen the match between Lu Chen and Sunset and Stars. He didn't know that Lu Chen had such a skill. What was even more frightening was that the opponent's timing was so precise. He had also dodged his general stab in less than a second. He had even used this AoE stun skill before. Minus 73,000, minus 40,000, burning damage. The initial damage of Underground Magma wasn't high. After all, Lu Chen didn't convert it into a spiritual attack. However, Lu Chen only wanted the stun effect. I heard that you like to go with it. Lu Chen said calmly. What a coincidence, I like it too. Chapter 373. You want to insta-kill me? Let me tell you clearly that it's impossible. Eternal Sunset didn't know if he was pretending to be stupid, or if he was deliberately provoking Lu Chen. Lu Chen snorted. 3 seconds? What a joke. You think you can last more than 1 second? After saying that, Lu Chen actually put away his weapon and took out the Raging Flame's wishful staff. Shadow of the Night. Basic attack. Minus 50,000, damage reduction, 50,000, pet health transfer, 70,000. It had to be said that Eternal Sunset had the right to be arrogant. At this time, everyone saw Eternal Sunset's health points. This guy had 1,800,000 health points. Although his level was higher than Lu Chen's, it was still far from Lu Chen's 4,200,000 health points. However, it was still much higher than the average player. It seemed that this guy also had some kind of adventure. Not only did he unlock 2 professions, but his attributes were also much higher than the average person's. Pugilists had a very strong damage reduction talent and a high critical hit resistance. If combined with the equipment's special effects, Lu Chen's critical hit rate was over 100%, but he did not manage to land a critical hit. A monster tamer's pet could help their master take a lot of damage. With these 2 damage reduction effects stacked together with the defensive effect brought by high attributes, Lu Chen's 240,000 plus physical attack only dealt around 50,000 to 60,000 damage. Ha 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 ha, are you surprised? Are you surprised? Your attack is ridiculously high, but in my opinion, it's just a scratch. You want to insta-kill me in 3 seconds? With your damage, you can't kill me without 30 seconds of continuous control. And you want to insta-kill me in 1 second? Dream on. However, before Sunset Eternal could finish his sentence, his HP bar suddenly collapsed, 300,000, poisoned, damage reduction, 300,000, pet health transfer, 520,000, minus 300,000, poisoned, damage reduction, 300,000, pet health transfer, 520,000. Before the smile on Eternal Sunset's face completely disappeared, he was petrified. Not only Eternal Sunset, but the others were also dumbfounded. What is this thing? Even with so much damage reduction, he still lost 600,000 health points in an instant. 300,000, 300,000, 520,000. That's 1,120,000 poison damage. Is this a joke? Nameless Bro also has 1 million poison damage. Doesn't that mean he's the same as Mad God, able to insta-kill a sky-piercing boss? 10 Steps casual remark caught Tualua Walker's attention. What? What did you say about Mad God? Ah. Oh, Mad God insta-killed a heavenly domain boss, what's wrong? Instant kill a heavenly domain boss. A first heaven domain boss. What other heaven domain boss could there be? It's an instant kill. Yeah, I killed him in one move. Puff. The representative of the second heaven and the group of experts who were eavesdropping at the side all spat out blood. Killed in one move. That's impossible. Why not? It was broadcasted live all over the world. We all saw it with our own eyes. Hey, let's watch our boss fight in the arena. What Mad God? Let's talk about that later. Let's watch the competition first. However, the group of people seemed to have lost their souls. 10 Steps' words kept echoing in their minds. It was the same heavenly domain boss. The other teams had made all kinds of preparations in advance, pushed themselves to the limit, and faced all kinds of dangers. In the end, the solipsistic team had insta-killed the heavenly domain boss. What a joke. Lu Chen's normal attack was a 3-hit combo. This was only the first attack, but it had already taken 650,000 HP from Eternal Sunset. The next 2 combo attacks had taken another 1,300,000 HP. A simple normal attack had insta-killed the super expert Eternal Sunset. Eternal Sunset's body was in intense pain, but he was kneeling on the ground and had no time to care about the pain. He had really been insta-killed. With his damage reduction and pet life transfer, how could he be insta-killed? Lu Chen coldly looked at Eternal Sunset. Now it's my turn to ask you, are you surprised? I said I could insta-kill you, so I can definitely insta-kill you. Against someone like you, I don't even need to use my full strength. Eternal Sunset raised his head. He was filled with anger, but when he saw Lu Chen's calm expression, his anger turned into despair. That calm expression was too familiar. Didn't he always have that expression in the past? That was a sign of having a well-thought-out card up his sleeve. Under what circumstances would one be so confident? Only when one had a trump card would they be so confident. That guy still had a trump card. He wasn't lying, he was just playing. Impossible, impossible, your damage can't be so high. I have 2 professions, I have received guidance from an immortal, my attributes are higher than the average person's. It has always been me insta-killing others, no one can insta-kill me. Also, you can't break my infinite suppression. In fact, the real deciding factor of this match was Lu Chen breaking infinite suppression. Without breaking it, he couldn't even take care of himself, how could he turn the tables? Lu Chen shook his head. It seemed that this defeat was too big of a blow for Eternal Sunset. That's because you haven't met a strong opponent yet. Lu Chen said calmly. Defeating Eternal Sunset did not make him feel happy at all. Do you really think you're my opponent? Previously, I just wanted to see if I could break your infinite suppression. Infinite suppression is indeed very strong, so strong that it's beyond my imagination. But after the battle with Eternal Sunset, I've already thought of a way to deal with it. Eternal Sunset's face was filled with disbelief. He really broke infinite suppression. Impossible, you must have been lucky. You only had a simple prediction and luck, you couldn't have avoided infinite suppression. Lu Qin smiled slightly. As long as a person is using it, there will be a loophole. Infinite suppression can suppress low-quality movement. It seems unbreakable, I can't dodge it no matter how I try, but it doesn't mean that this skill is unbreakable. How did you break it? Lu Qin said calmly. My movement is not as good as yours, but my reaction is not slower than yours. So I didn't use my movement to dodge, I relied on my reaction to dodge. Since the purpose of your infinite suppression is to get close, then I'll let you get close. But after you get close, your ultimate goal is still to attack, and you will definitely leave a gap, giving yourself a chance to adjust your attack. This gap is the only chance I have to dodge. At the same time, when I can accurately calculate this gap, I can use the magma to stun you. Eternal Sunset was speechless. Nameless words were exactly what he had been thinking at that time. Even if he attacked before infinite suppression, in order to ensure that his attack was effective, he had to give himself some time to react before he attacked. In the end, this reaction time of a fraction of a second was the only flaw in the perfect combination of Instant Shadow and Gun King. The person on the other side had made use of this flaw to complete the dodge and backhand control. It's just that you are more skilled at infinite suppression than your disciple, and the gap between the skills is almost negligible, so I still fell for it the first time. Lu Qin seemed to be unsatisfied with his performance, shaking his head. Although you can't kill me instantly, it seems that I still underestimated my opponent. I have to be more careful in the future. Lu Qin was deeply reflecting on his mistakes, but the group of people below the stage did not dare to speak for a long time. Is this the awareness of a god? He still thinks that his performance is not good? Sorry, why do I feel that the boss is showing off when he is reflecting? Indeed, I can't understand this at all. Big brother, you killed him instantly, and you still say that your performance is not good, is it appropriate? Chapter 374. Sunset Eternal was finally speechless. He sighed and stood up reluctantly. I've met many strong players, and some made me feel powerless. However, no one was like you, breaking my infinite suppression head-on. I lost. I admit that you're a terrifying opponent. However, don't be too proud. I'll remember today's humiliation. One day, I'll come back for revenge. Lu Qin frowned slightly. This guy was really competitive. Next time, I'll make you pay me back double. Lu Qin pursed his lips. Maybe there won't be a next time. Why? Lu Qin shrugged. To be honest, this competition isn't that interesting. Sunset Eternal's expression was a little ugly. Not interesting? Kid, you really live up to your name. However, don't be too arrogant. Do you know who you're going to face in the next round? When Sunset Eternal said this, Lu Qin was also stunned. He had used the ID, solipsistic, in the first round. Sunset Eternal naturally knew his real identity, which was why he said, live up to your name. However, the people below the stage did not seem to understand. Lu Qin immediately answered and diverted everyone's attention. Isn't it random? You don't know either. Of course I know. Because I've already fought it more than 10 times. Eternal said. In the previous arena, my opponents were all players from other districts. However, in the last round, my opponent is not a player. Everyone knows that there's a treasure in the Fairy Trail Forest, but they can't see it. That thing is like a mountain in front of all the players. It can't be crossed, or at least, I don't know anyone who has defeated it. Lu Qin frowned slightly. It sounds a bit interesting. Sunset Eternal snorted. Interesting? It doesn't matter. Anyway, it's the last round. All the players in the arena can watch. I'll see if you can still be so arrogant when you meet it. At this time, the results of the competition were out. The winner of this competition is an anonymous player from District 19. Congratulations on advancing to the finals. You can apply for the competition at any time when you're ready. The betting system is calculating. You have received a total of 126 million gold coins. The reward has been sent to your backpack. What was different from before was that the system gave him an additional notification. Your next opponent will be the NPC guarding the preparatory arena, the Immortal Slaughtering Poison Master. Immortal Slaughtering Poison Master, disciple of Supreme Spiritual Martial Apothecary. Supreme Spiritual Martial Apothecary is a Stage 2 Heaven Domain boss in Purgatory difficulty. Purgatory difficulty, this difficulty is not listed in the level up list. It can be activated by completing a legendary hidden mission. You can ask the Mountain Man for the specific method. Lu Chen froze for a moment, and then almost spat out a mouthful of blood. The system finally gave Master Spiritual Martial Apothecary's information, but this information was a little too much. He knew that Master Spiritual Martial Apothecary would be very strong, but he didn't think that Master Spiritual Martial Apothecary had already become a Stage 2 Heaven Domain boss. Moreover, he wasn't an ordinary boss. He was a Heaven Domain boss that would only appear in Purgatory difficulty. Then what level was Purgatory difficulty? Lu Chen still remembered that after Hard mode, it should be Hell mode. As for Purgatory difficulty, he didn't know if it was the next level after Hell mode. Damn, Louis, you're too much of a scammer. So the mission I promised you was to kill a Stage 2 Purgatory boss. I was only a Stage 1 immature youth back then, and you gave me such a difficult mission. Is it appropriate? Oh, damn, NPCs are also full of tricks. It seemed that Master Spiritual Martial Apothecary would have to be put aside for now. However, Lu Chen could now meet the Immortal Slaughtering Poison Master. Since he was a disciple, he could at least understand Master Spiritual Martial Apothecary's strength. Speaking of which, Eternal Sunset had just said that there was a treasure hidden in the Immortal Trail Forest. Actually, Lu Chen was quite ashamed when he heard that because he didn't know. In that case, Lu Chen was a little impatient. Eternal had already left through the portal, but Lu Chen still hadn't left the arena. The people below the arena saw that Lu Chen was resting and seemed to have guessed what he was going to do. Boss, don't tell me you're going to continue the challenge. 10 steps shouted from below, why don't you take a break and come back tomorrow? It's the final round, so you have to be in good condition. Yeah, didn't Eternal say that the next opponent would be a super strong NPC? He couldn't beat it even after 10 tries. Why don't you take a break first? Lu Chen smiled at these people. It's okay, I'll go home early for dinner after this. Big brother, it's the final round, and you're only thinking about going home for dinner. Half an hour later, Lu Chen adjusted himself to his best condition and started the final round of the arena. Many players in District 79, District 44, and District 2 received a system message at the same time. Galaxy Server District 19 player, Anonymous player, has issued the final challenge to the Reserve Arena's Ultimate Guardian, Celestial Poison Master. Pay 10 gold coins to watch the match live. Lu Chen made a lot of money from Jotian's gambling function, but they also had their own way of making money. 10 gold coins per person in a Galaxy server was definitely not a small amount. District 19. The Berserk Python Beast King was farming in the wild. After receiving the message, it was suddenly stunned and was bitten by a wild monster. Fuck you, country bumpkin, I'll leave it to you. The Beast King didn't care about the wild monster and checked his previous battle information. It's really that guy. No way, he actually made it to the final round? Is this the power of love? Pangu Beast King from District 49 was buying mixed energy pills in the city. After receiving the message, he immediately paid 10 gold coins. No way, that guy made it to the final round? A guy from a difficult server actually made it to the final round? Sunset Eternal and Sunset Stars also immediately joined the live broadcast. Master, he made it to the final round. That guy is very strong. I underestimated him. However, it's impossible for him to win against Poison Master Celestial. The key is to see what other skills he has. I lost to his group control skill before. Countless players joined the live broadcast. Of course, although the players from District 19 were poor, they had just earned a lot of money and could still afford it. One after another, they joined the live broadcast. Boss is going to fight the final boss. I'm so nervous. Damn, look, the number of people watching the live broadcast. How many billions are there? Motherfucker, there are so many zeros. Are so many people watching? And they're all aliens who are different from us. Lu Yi was extremely nervous. It was not convenient for her to call Lu Chen brother in front of others, but she was still Lu Chen's sister after all. Naturally, she was more nervous than anyone else. She didn't expect that one day, her brother would stand in the middle of the galaxy and become the center of attention of billions of people. Brother, do your best. I believe in you. You will always be the brother that I am most proud of. The competition venue was an open plain that stretched as far as the eye could see. There was only a gentle breeze caressing the green waves. The blue sky was particularly clear, the white clouds were leisurely, and the breeze was gentle. It was difficult for people to associate such a beautiful scenery with the fierce battle that was about to happen. Lu Chen took a deep breath of fresh air and looked at the figure sitting cross-legged in mid-air in the distance. He slowly walked over. Okay, Poison Master Celestial, right? Don't let me down. Chapter 375. Everyone's attention was attracted by the figure. That's the immortal slaughtering Poison Master. He looks so cool, floating in midair. It's more than cool. He's super strong, okay? I haven't seen any challengers that can last more than 30 seconds against him. Is Poison Master a branch of pharmacist? That's right, pharmacists are divided into doctors and poison masters. Of course, there are also people who practice both medicine and poison, but you should know that pursuing the peak of one ability is the strongest. How long can that nameless last? Who knows, he can't last more than 30 seconds. The outside world was discussing, but Lu Chen couldn't hear it at all. He finally walked in front of that person. As Lu Chen entered the arena, the system also showed the information of both parties. Information of both parties. Human Galaxy Server District 19, Level 75 Anonymous Player. This server's game difficulty is currently hard. Human Galaxy Server District 2, Reserve Arena Guardian, Immortal Slaughtering Poison Master, Level 90. At this moment, Immortal Slaughtering Poison Master finally opened his eyes. He glanced at Lu Chen. So, the person who is going to die in my hands is you? Lu Chen sneered, you're much more humorous than the other bosses. Where's your master? Immortal Slaughtering Poison Master's eyes were filled with killing intent. What right do you have to ask my master? Oh, nothing much, I just wanted to tell him that it's time for him to pay back the debt he owed in the first heaven. Immortal Slaughtering Poison Master's eyes were filled with killing intent. What do you know? What I know isn't the main point. The main point is, does he know what debt he owes? Whether I know or not, it doesn't affect his knowledge. Lu Chen felt that he had said a bunch of tongue twisters. However, he didn't want to say it out loud. After all, there were a lot of people watching the live broadcast, and he didn't want people to know too much about his strength. Lu Chen's words became even more grating in Immortal Slaughtering Poison Master's ears. He was almost certain that this guy had Lu Yi's mission. Very good, you're really not afraid of death. Alright, then I'll have to make you give up on this idea. Since you probably won't have the chance to hear my advice later, I'll tell you right now that you can't afford to offend a poison master. Lu Chen pursed his lips and turned to look at his opponent coldly. I'm sorry, but not only will I provoke you, I'll also kill you. Arrogant. Looks like I'll have to torture you to death today. Lu Chen smiled. Please do your best. Otherwise, I will be disappointed. No one could understand why the immortal slaughtering poison master this time was different from the previous ones. The poison master immortal slaughtering poison master today was more murderous than ever before. He must have angered the NPC. Fuck, how did he do it? Even the immortal slaughtering poison master has never been so serious. Is he going all out? That guy still doesn't know how powerful the immortal slaughtering poison master is. He is still laughing foolishly. He will suffer in a while. It's all pain. After being poisoned, it's no joke. It's definitely like riding a roller coaster. As they talked, the duel was about to begin. Finally, the people stopped talking. Everyone who was watching the match began to focus on the two people in the arena. When the countdown ended and the match began, the immortal slaughtering poison master had already made his move. Corrosive poison array. The originally clean world was suddenly filled with a black fog. The moment Lu Chen came into contact with the poison array, his HP dropped. -1 million. Seeing this damage, everyone covered their mouths in shock. That can't be, this guy has never used this skill before. 1 million damage per second. I'll be instantly killed if I go in. Oh my god, this is too scary. Is this an AoE continuous damage? Who can withstand 1 million damage from the poison? The key is that there is no way to dodge. That guy's HP is also very high. He has 3,600,000 HP, but it can only last for 4 seconds. Currently, Lu Chen had not activated Worget's possession and demon transformation. His HP was 600,000 less than his peak. The corrosive poison array had a wide range. It was like an enhanced version of the Black Coffin Dead Zone. Its damage was also very high. Lu Chen's brain buzzed, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. After being poisoned, his body felt uncomfortable. However, Lu Chen did not have time to think about this. Debuff, corrosive, defense decreases by 10% every second. Even he was shocked. Not only was the poison attack high, but it also had a debuff. Well, he was wrong. The corrosive poison array was much stronger than the Black Coffin Dead Zone. In 10 seconds, his defense would be depleted. At the same time, he would suffer a huge amount of poison damage. Even he could not withstand this poison damage. Worget's possession. Demon transformation. Blood sacrifice shield. Lu Chen did not dare to hold back. He hurriedly summoned all his HP recovery skills. Currently, blood sacrifice shield could provide 9 million HP. In addition to his own 4,200,000 HP, he could last for 14 seconds at most. 1 second had already passed. There were 13 seconds left. 13 seconds to kill the immortal slaughtering poison master. He could not hold back anymore. Demon Doppelganger. Demon King's Will, refresh. Demon Doppelganger. Night Shadow. Earth Chasm. 10 Doppelganger and 30 Doppelganger appeared in front of the immortal slaughtering poison master. Under the chaotic attacks, even the immortal slaughtering poison master would have to kneel. However, when all the doppelganger attacked at the same time, the immortal slaughtering poison master's body turned into a cloud of smoke and dissipated. Lu Chen was confused. What kind of technique was this? Everyone was also at a loss. What's going on? Was that an illusion? Or a puppet master's doppelganger? No, it's not. This is... A powerful poison master widened his eyes in shock. Impossible, he has already cultivated to, brother, can you not be so slow? What level did he cultivate to? I'm so anxious. Believe it or not, I'll beat you to death if you stop. He cultivated to the star poison body. The star poison body can fuse the body with poison. In other words, that mist is not an illusion, not a doppelganger, not a puppet. That is his real body. Pooh! The spectators at the side spat out a mouthful of blood. It can't be. If his real body is the poison mist, how can we fight? That's right. I used to know that the immortal slaughtering poison master was strong, but now it seems that he hasn't shown his true strength at all. And don't forget, that kid is still suffering a huge amount of damage every second. Even if his shield is strong, he won't be able to last long. Alright. What's there to say? I already said that he won't be able to pass the level. Immortal Trail Forest is a place that only immortals can go. Let's just give up. In the arena, the battle was still ongoing. Ha ha ha, you want to kill me? I'll stand here and let you hit me. You can't hit me at all. You want to die too slowly, right? Let me help you again. Underworld River of Forgetfulness Water. This water wasn't liquid water. It existed in the form of gas. Lu Chen couldn't dodge at all and was hit directly. Minus 230,000, water poison, debuff, lose 230,000 HP every second, lasts for 15 seconds. Debuff, any technique that uses spiritual energy can cause the water poison to flare up. The damage is the sum of all the water poison accumulated before. Lasts for 15 seconds. In other words, if a technique that consumes pure spiritual energy is used before the water poison disappears, for example, at 14 seconds, there will be another water poison explosion, accumulating 3 million plus damage. Seeing this skill, everyone was shocked beyond words. Oh my god, is this a poison master? This is too terrifying. Chapter 376. 11 seconds. With the bow in his hand and the arrow on the string, Lu Chen closed his eyes and accepted the feedback from the Eye of the Gods. Sometimes, what the eyes saw might not be the truth, and now he needed the ability of the Eye of the Gods. Inside the corrosive poison array, black gas surrounded him, but there was no immortal poison master. Ha ha ha, you can't even find my body, so what if you have a dazzling gold bow? You want to touch my master with just the likes of you? An ant dares to think of a god. What a joke, what a joke. In my poison array, just wait for death. Lu Chen closed his eyes and turned a deaf ear to the immortal poison master's mockery. What he needed now was to concentrate. The star-level poison body could actually fuse with poison and turn the body into a poisonous fog. Then in this situation, how should he attack? Lu Chen's mind was spinning. If he wanted to fight this guy, a single attack wouldn't be enough. He had to use a group attack. Currently, Lu Chen's most powerful group attack was the Abyss Dragon Crystal Bow's surpassing shot. Although the range wasn't very large and could only attack 100 units, it could at least cover a certain area. Where are you? Lu Chen carefully relied on the Eye of the Gods to observe the changes in the surrounding black fog. Soon, he found a detail. The black fog in the corrosive poison array was basically evenly distributed, but an unknown black fog seemed to be slightly thicker than other places. Where is it? Lu Chen frowned and stepped into the Qian Kun position. The dazzling gold bow in his hand was fully drawn. The super long-range shot required 10 seconds of preparation time. Lu Chen was already accumulating a large amount of spiritual energy in this arrow. The arrow was pointed at the place where the black fog was thicker. Many players watching the live broadcast were puzzled. Sunset Stars frowned. No way, he found the location of the immortal poison master. Is the magic treasure beside him the Eye of the Gods? His master was knowledgeable and said, it's not an ordinary Eye of the Gods. It should be the Eye of the Gods, the upgraded version of the Eye of the Gods. That thing is extremely difficult to get, even I didn't get it. I didn't expect that guy to have it. The Eye of the Dark Gods can see what humans can't. It seems like he found the immortal slaughtering poison master. But soon after, Sunset Eternal shook his head and said, that's not right. The Eye of the Dark Gods shouldn't be able to find it. In order to beat the immortal slaughtering poison master, I bought many videos of past experts. There was once a super expert who forced the immortal slaughtering poison master to reveal his star-grade poison body. At that time, he also tried to use the eye of the dark gods, but in the end, he still couldn't break the star-grade poison body. Ah! That kid's HP won't last more than 10 seconds. That means he's dead for sure. With a loud bang, the entire battlefield seemed to have collapsed, and the ground was blown up by the black light, creating a huge crater. Everywhere was chaotic, and sand and stones were flying everywhere. Even the players who were watching the live stream could feel the unparalleled power of the arrow and the deafening sound it made. The super long-distance shot that could hit a target 10,000 meters away contained tremendous power. When it hit a target at such a close distance, the aftershock produced was even stronger than many high-explosive close combat techniques. He shot the arrow. What a powerful arrow. What is its attack power? But why did he shoot the arrow in that direction? Did he find the immortal slaughtering poison master? That's impossible. Too many questions flashed through countless people's minds until the scene gave them the answer. The entire area that was filled with the black corrosive poison fog dissipated. The corrosive poison array was broken. However, at the same time, Lu Chen used his technique, and the poison of water broke out. Minus 2,700,000, poison of water break. Xiao Min. Got it, boss. Possession will save you from death. The last damage was blocked by Xiao Min. At this time, Lu Chen only had 70,000 HP left. With 2 million and 8 million plus blood sacrifice shield, he only had 70,000 HP left. His HP bar could not be any lower. At this time, a damage number appeared from the crater. Minus 1,330,000. Countless people were so shocked that they were speechless. He really hit the target. Impossible, how is it possible? This is impossible. How did he do it? Who can tell me how he found the immortal slaughtering poison master? Didn't they say that even the dark eyes of the gods couldn't find the immortal slaughtering poison master? How did he hit the immortal slaughtering poison master? This doesn't make sense. At this time, countless questions flashed through the minds of countless players. Chapter 377. The corrosive poison array was broken, and the poison of water also broke out at once. Lu Chen did not lose his first life. However, he could not rest at this time. Switching to the wishful staff and devil's blade, Lu Chen rushed to the deep pit. In the deep pit, the immortal slaughtering poison master's face was full of blood and shock. At this time, Lu Chen had already arrived. Now you can't run away, right? 88 million HP. That's not enough. Forget it, I'm a little tired today. I'll finish you off early. Lu Chen sneered. How did you find me? Lu Chen was too lazy to answer his question. Dragon Blood Boil. He directly activated the skill. Dragon Blood Boil, the special effect of the dark gold black dragon necklace. After active use, lose 80% of the current HP and gain the Dragon Blood Boil state, all damage increased by 80%, this state can coexist with Death Trap. Death Trap was very strong, but Lu Chen did not dare to use it now. After all, it would cost him 20% of his total HP. He now only had 1/60th of his total HP left. How could he use 20%? However, Dragon Blood Boil was different. The loss was the current HP. The lower the HP, the better the cost-effectiveness. Now was undoubtedly the best time to use it. Quick move, Fierce Tiger descends the mountain. Don't think that you can kill me after hitting me once. Why don't you take a look at your health bar? You'll die if I touch you. Unfortunately, I'm afraid you won't have a chance to touch me. Lu Chen's large number of clones had already arrived in front of him. A poison master, no matter how strong his poison attack was, did not want to be approached by a melee profession, let alone Lu Chen. Suddenly, more than 30 clones attacked the immortal slaughtering poison master. A large number of damage floated above the immortal slaughtering poison master's head, and many abnormal statuses were crazily refreshed. Critical hit, silence, mana burn, speed reduction, lifesteal, stun, speed reduction, critical hit. Although the immortal slaughtering poison master was immune to Lu Chen's poison attack, he was not immune to physical attacks. He was unreasonably beaten by the clones and had no chance to wake up. Seeing this scene, Sunset Star's eyes almost popped out. My God, what kind of monster is that guy? The boss couldn't wake up because of him. Don't bosses have all sorts of resistances? Master, that guy, isn't he an archer? Why do I feel that he is more powerful in close combat than when he is using a bow? Could it be that he also had two professions? Is he also a pugilist? This, I don't know either. Even a pugilist wouldn't have such high critical strike, stun, lifesteal, silence, mana burn, what the hell is this? How many passives does he have? There was no doubt that from now on, no one would want this madman to get close to them. It was simply too horrible to look at. It was one thing to be beaten black and blue by a group of clones, but the key was that he didn't even have a chance to fight back. After being stunned for an infinite amount of time, his mana was still being burned. It was as if his spirit core was leaking out. His pure spiritual energy was being drained and his blood was being sucked away. This scene was simply painful to watch. Raging flame slash. Then, he added a burning effect. Unknowingly, Lu Chen had absorbed more than 1 million blood, put them to death. Lu Chen didn't hesitate and directly wasted more than 800,000 blood. Put them to death, the special effect of the dark gold black dragon necklace. After actively using it, 20% of the maximum HP would be lost, and 1% HP would be lost every second thereafter. At the same time, he would gain the status, put them to death. For every 1% HP lost, his attack speed would increase by 4%. Losing 40,000 HP per second was perfectly offset by Lu Chen's lifesteal. Now that he had lost a total of 90% HP, his attack speed increased by 360%. Suddenly, Lu Chen's original body was crazier than the other clones. It was as if he was convulsing, his attack speed was extremely fast. Swish 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 swish, several attacks per second. This time, the immortal slaughtering poison master had no chance to wake up. Oh my God, this guy's damage is too high. And this attack speed, what the hell is this? I'm actually starting to feel like the immortal slaughtering poison master of the same generation. A boss being beaten up like this by a player. Does he not care about his reputation? Damn, I thought that guy was already a super strong archer. Now, I realize that I was wrong. He's even stronger in close combat. A close combat archer. It's better not to meet this person in the future. The wild python beast king looked at the berserk Lu Chen in shock, his jaw almost dropping. No way, big brother, you're actually so strong. Thinking about how he had let this guy win a round, the wild python beast king really wanted to find a hole to crawl into. This kid, he didn't even say anything. I let him win a round, and he accepted it calmly. Really? I hope no one bought the battle video of that round, or else it'll be really embarrassing. Even the immortal slaughtering poison master could not withstand such a beating. Not long after, the immortal slaughtering poison master was finally killed, but he still had a little HP left. The system had already given the results. The winner of this competition is an anonymous player from District 19. Congratulations on winning first place in this preparatory arena. You will receive the title, King of the Arena, and the qualification to enter the Immortal Trail Forest. Lu Chen shook his head and quietly looked at the longest title in the character panel. Another prefix. Well, fortunately, that ID did not have to be displayed. Finally, I finished the arena in 2 days. I've wasted a lot of time here. The group of people who were watching the live stream was speechless. This guy only fought for 2 days. Is he sure he's from the hard level server? This guy, even if he reaches the hard level, he'll definitely be a top-notch existence. Of course, how long has it been since someone defeated the immortal slaughtering poison master? Moreover, the immortal slaughtering poison master hasn't used corrosive poison array and water poison for a long time. As long as he uses those 2 skills, basically no one can beat him. Speaking of which, how did he find the immortal slaughtering poison master? The betting system is calculating. You've received a total of 3502900000000 gold coins. The reward has been sent to your backpack. This amount was equally shocking. Anyone with a discerning eye could tell that he had bet with the money raised by the players in his world. That guy is so confident. Did he win by himself? He actually almost lost. Fortune comes from danger. However, the players from Earth knew that the immortal slaughtering poison master had not forced Brother Nameless to use his full strength. After all, Brother Nameless still had 1 rebirth. Of course, Lu Chen actually had 2 rebirths. It was just that the players on Earth did not know about it. He had too many secrets. The immortal slaughtering poison master sat there, looking extremely dispirited. Just as Lu Chen was about to leave through the black hole teleportation portal, the immortal slaughtering poison master suddenly called out to Lu Chen. Do you want to know where the mountain man is? Lu Chen immediately stopped and turned to look at the immortal slaughtering poison master. The mountain man was the key to unlock the higher difficulty levels. Lingwu's only appeared in the hard level difficulty. The eye of the dark gods can't distinguish my star poison body. Unless you tell me how you broke my star poison body. As long as you tell me, I'll tell you the coordinates of the mountain man. Lu Chen narrowed his eyes slightly and thought about it. Zhang Lingyan's mission made him understand that the words of the NPCs in Jiutian could not be completely trusted. However, he was willing to take a gamble. Reverse moon chasing. Lu Chen only said 4 words. Reverse moon chasing. After a long time, the immortal slaughtering poison master finally understood. Chapter 378. Most of the players watching the live stream were players from the advanced servers. Naturally, they knew about 7 stars chasing the moon, which was a common orange equipment. Many of them had even upgraded 7 stars chasing the moon by 5 before getting good equipment. Naturally, they knew about the reverse moon chasing status. However, most of them still did not know what the reverse moon chasing had to do with finding the celestial poisoner. After pondering for a long time, Sunset Eternal suddenly slapped his thigh. I get it, I get it. Master, what do you get? How did he find the celestial poisoner? Sunset Stars could not wait to ask. Stardust, do you remember when Solipsistic used 7 stars chasing the moon a second before he used super long-range shooting? I remember. At that time, he probably could not hold on for long, so he used 7 stars chasing the moon to buy time. At that time, I felt like he was running around like a madman. No. He was not running around. He was using 7 stars chasing the moon to find the celestial poisoner's position. What? Eternal explained to his disciple. 7 stars chasing the moon had a special feature. When the user used a displacement skill in the opposite direction of the enemy, it would be judged as escaping and activate the reverse moon chasing status. If the user used 7 stars chasing the moon multiple times, they would be able to lock onto the enemy's position based on whether or not they had activated the reverse moon chasing status. He used this method to find the celestial poisoner. After locking onto the enemy's position, there might be a certain deviation. However, his super long-range shooting is a small area attack skill, which just happened to make up for this deviation. This guy, He actually used this trash equipment to defeat a strong enemy that even I could not defeat. This is too unexpected. Sunset Stars was completely dumbfounded. Wait, Master, then didn't he use the dark eye of the gods? Then why did he close his eyes and give people the feeling that he was relying on the dark eye of the gods? That's right, this is what's really scary about him. Eternity shook his head and sighed. I think that even the immortal slaughtering poison master must have thought that his method was wrong. The eye of the gods couldn't find him in the darkness, so he must have been careless. Also, until the arrow was shot, Solipsistic deliberately turned his back to immortal slaughtering poison master. All these actions were to numb immortal slaughtering poison master, because he wasn't sure that immortal slaughtering poison master wouldn't move at the last second. So, not only did he numb him mentally, he also left the safest place behind him. Then, he would suddenly attack. At that time, even the immortal slaughtering poison master would have no time to dodge. In that kind of situation, that kid's strategy, logic, and psychology were all extremely brilliant. Sunset Stars widened his eyes. In a situation where he only had 10 seconds to live, not only did Solipsistic come up with a countermeasure that no one else could think of, he even disguised it so well. Was he even human? It was no wonder that Poison Master Immortal, including the many people who watched the video, could not figure out how he found Poison Master Immortal. His master had never praised a person like this before. Moreover, it was an opponent that he hated the most. This could only mean that Solipsistic's operation was extremely powerful. Eternity Sunset shook his head. Alright, I underestimated him before. I have to hurry up and become stronger. I must defeat him. Only by defeating him can I find my value. After saying that, Eternity Sunset left his disciple and rode away on his azure dragon mount. This master, the opponent that Sunset Stars once thought that he could easily defeat, had now become his master's goal. This difference made Sunset Stars feel even more devastated. Solipsistic. You are really that strong? Immortal Slaughtering Poison Master let out a long sigh. I still have many skills that I haven't used. Alright, between experts, they never give their opponents a second chance. After this defeat, I will no longer be the guardian of the arena. Sai, since I came here, you are the first to pass the test. This time, I accept my defeat wholeheartedly. Perhaps you have the qualifications to challenge him. Speaking of that person, Immortal Slaughtering Poison Master laughed at himself. Speaking of which, it is very interesting. I once thought of defeating him. Unfortunately, his strength has already reached a level where I can only look up to him. If you only challenge him with your current strength, I can tell you with certainty that you have no chance of winning. Lu Qin smiled. Actually, you are not the only one who did not use all of your skills. What you saw was also not my full strength. Immortal Slaughtering Poison Master laughed in disdain. God's power. Do you know why I did not use it? Because the same level of God's power has no deterrent effect on the opponent. You being able to pass one layer of heaven means that you have at least one layer of God's power. So, using it would be useless. Lu Qin smiled but did not say anything. He indeed had one layer of God's power. However, he also had one layer of Devil's power. He was a dual cultivator of God and Devil. Not only that, he also had a portion of God's blood and a Devil's seed in his backpack. He could level up to 2 layers. However, if other people wanted to think that way, then let them be. I will send you the coordinates of the mountain man, but I don't know if you can complete the mission he gave you. Lu Qin nodded and turned to leave the arena. After exiting the teleportation portal, Lu Qin let out a long sigh of relief and jumped off the stage. He refunded everyone's money. After this trip, these guys had earned quite a bit of gold coins. They had multiplied by more than 10 times. Although it might not be much on average, it could be considered as solving an urgent problem. Of course, Lu Qin himself had made a lot of money. His initial capital of 4.5 million gold coins was not only one round more than the others, but he also did not reduce his capital midway. Now, it was 90 million gold coins. This money should be enough to last him for a while. Great Wall of Iron and Blood checked the amount and suddenly sent a trade request. What? Lu Chen asked curiously. Nameless, you helped us win so much. Of course, you have to pay for your hard work. I believe no one will have any objections. After saying that, Great Wall of Iron and Blood transferred 100 million to Lu Chen. Yes, boss, you have to accept this money. You worked so hard for everyone. If you don't accept it, then you are looking down on us. We are very weak now, but with you, we have a goal to strive for. Boss personally taught us a lesson. It turns out that low-level equipment and techniques can still defeat the strong. Now, we have confidence. Seeing that everyone was so enthusiastic, Lu Chen did not refuse. However, Lu Chen still rejected the 20 million offered by Tua Luo Walker. I won't accept your money. I only have one request. I hope that you can lead the Earth players well within the month you promised. Lu Chen returned the reward. Mr. Nameless, please rest assured. Tua Luo Walker said solemnly, you have won the respect of all of us for the Earth players. We believe that Earth, which can cultivate people like you, may one day produce more strong players. We are willing to live in harmony with the Earth players. Lu Chen smiled slightly. Very good, this was the result he wanted to see. This way, he could continue to explore the second layer of heaven without worry. Chapter 379. That night, Lu Yi cooked a feast for her brother. Although most of the dishes were ordered by takeout, it still filled the entire table. Brother, look, there's your favorite scrambled eggs with chives. I ordered 2 servings of the best in the city. Chives are good stuff. Lu Chen looked at the table full of dishes and could not help but drool. Hey, why did you prepare so many dishes? The 2 of us can't finish them all. Lu Yi looked at her brother with eyes full of admiration. Brother, you're too strong. I really admire you now. Tisk, did you just find out that your brother is strong today? No, you were good at games in the past, but it's different this time. Even the aliens were stunned by you. How did I get such a strong brother? Lu Chen rolled his eyes at Lu Yi. Crazy, hurry up and eat. Brother, I'll help you scoop rice. At the dining table, the siblings chatted casually. Oh right, brother, I saw your eyes glowing green before. I was scared to death. I thought there was something wrong with your equipment. Lu Chen's hand paused in the middle of picking up food. Speaking of which, should he tell his sister that he was a solipsistic? He did not want to hide it from his sister at first, but he did not have the right opportunity. Later on, he felt that Jiutian was not normal. He was not sure what the 2 identities would bring him, so he did not take the initiative to tell Lu Yi. After thinking about it, Lu Chen decided to forget about it. It was enough to let his sister enjoy the game. It would not matter if he told her when everything was clear in the future. Maybe I got infected by solipsistic when I hung out with him. Lu Chen explained perfunctorily. Brother. Lu Yi looked at Lu Chen strangely. Hey, tell me the truth. Lu Chen was a little nervous. He stared straight at Lu Yi. What truth? Is solipsistic handsome? Huh? Aya, you have such a good relationship with him. You even switch mounts and have the same moves. This means that you 2 must be doing dungeons together often. Have you seen how he looks in person? Why do you care? Hee, I'm just asking. Although he's a devil in the game, he's very mysterious and attractive. Stop. Stop. Let me tell you, you've been brainwashed into thinking of solipsistic. He's already married. Ah. No way. Are you sure? Yes. Lu Chen shook his head. He had to stop this silly girl from letting her imagination run wild. His son is already an adult, and his daughter is in kindergarten. Lu Yi pouted unhappily. Seriously, doesn't he usually bring his own wife along? This is too much. It's none of your business whether he brings his wife or not. Of course it's related to me. No, it's related to a lot of female fans. Don't you know? Now that the Jyotian official website has been upgraded to the Galactic server, we can access the Galactic server now. After leveling up, the officials organized an event for the most popular male player award, and he's currently in first place. You're second. Ah. Lu Chen was shocked. It didn't matter if there was a ranking, but now that there was one, the Mad Demon was first, and the Nameless was second. That's not right. I've done so much for you, why am I second? That guy massacred cities for no reason, why is he first? Lu Chen was depressed about this. Brother, you don't understand women's psychology. Lu Yi immediately explained, first, solipsistic is mysterious enough. Although you're mysterious too, you're still a human, and he's a devil. His appearance is super cool. I'll pretend sometimes. Am I not handsome in fashion? Yes, he's handsome, but what's so special about fashion? He's a completely different race. This completely arouses women's curiosity. No, do you women like the feeling of Beauty and the Beast? Normal beasts won't do, but he's super stylish. You can consider it. After all, it's only in the game. In reality, he's still a human. This is like Beauty and the Beast, where the beauty knows that the beast is actually a human. It's completely different. Lu Chen shook his head. Women's preferences seem to be a little difficult for him to understand. Brother, think about it. Is a female elf who suits your taste more attractive to you, or is an ordinary beauty more attractive to you? This. Can I say both? You men are fickle in love. Lu Chen shook his head. He didn't expect the identity of Mad Demon to be more popular than Nameless. Was this the legendary principle of the warm man's spare tire? Forget it, this selection had nothing to do with him anyway. No, wait, if it's a selection, hey, fatty, what's the reward for first place? Yes, the title in the game, Earth's Most Handsome Man. What? Such an ugly title. Brother, why are you so excited? There's no reward for second place. Even if there is, it's Mad God who will get it. Lu Chen didn't think that scrambled eggs with leeks would be good anymore. The next day, Lu Chen was a little listless. He logged into the official website, which was a rare occurrence. Right now, the official website had changed to the Galaxy server's official website. Currently, he was connected to a few other servers that were also difficult and belonged to the 19th server. He could now communicate with them. Currently, the Earth server's selection was in full swing. In first place was Solipsistic with more than 200 million votes. In second place was Nameless Hua Xia with more than 100 million votes. In third place was a certain Hollywood superstar with more than 100 million votes, similar to Nameless. In the forums, Superstar Media's management team was frantically soliciting votes, hoping to get the title of Earth's Most Handsome Man. Lu Chen saw the light at the end of the tunnel. Lu Chen quickly contacted his good friend Luo Yu. Brother Chen. What made you think of calling me today? You moved to a new place and I didn't even have time to visit you. When are you going to treat me to a meal? I don't have many friends. Next time, I'll treat you to a meal alone. Sure, I have all the time in the world right now. Aren't you busy at work? It's the Galactic server now, your company should be even busier. Sigh, don't mention it. Originally, after Lu Yi joined Wild Waves, she would bring me along whenever she had time. My equipment level was the highest in the company. I thought I could get into a good department, but my manager's nephew came and replaced me. He has connections. We can't compete. Lu Chen thought for a moment. Little Black, join Wild Waves. Brother Chen, Wild Waves isn't a place you can join just because you want to. Their guild rules clearly state that you can't use connections to get in. Lu Chen smiled. I believe you're not weak. I'll go ask their guild leader. Really? Brother Chen, do you know their guild leader? If I can join Wild Waves, then I'll fly. Fly? You still have to rely on yourself. I know. What I mean is, the platform is different now. Wild Waves is now a super strong guild. Lu Chen sighed slightly. He didn't expect Little Black to be so miserable. His brother was wronged outside and he didn't even tell him. However, this was good. He was too embarrassed to invite Luoyu before, but now he could pull Luoyu into Wild Waves. After all, he was in his own guild and could take care of him. Oh right, do you know if there are people who buy tickets? It's the most popular male player event. I know a few. Why? Okay, help me buy tickets. Buy Thomas to be first. Ah. You know Thomas? No, I just don't want Solipsistic to be first. How much would it cost? This will cost quite a bit of money. Although this ticket isn't worth much, and Lone Tyrant and Brother Nameless won't cheat, there's very little competition. A single ticket might only cost a few cents. However, if you want to cheat 3 million gold coins, you'll need at least 1 million. Okay, I'll transfer 2 million to you first. Help me buy tickets. This. Brother Chen, you're working for Thomas's management company? Not really. I definitely won't allow the title of Earth's Most Handsome Man to appear on Solipsistic's head. This kind of thing definitely can't happen. The title of World's Most Handsome Man. It was fine if it was on Black Barton's head, but if it was on Solipsistic's head, it would be too embarrassing. No, this kind of thing definitely can't happen. Chapter 380. Lu Chen did not like the title of Earth's Most Handsome Man. After all, he had personally witnessed the vastness of Zhoutian. Earth's Most Handsome Man might be an enviable title in the eyes of Earthlings, but think about how many worlds there were in the second heaven. It was tantamount to walking around with the title of Village's Most Handsome Man. The more he saw, the more Lu Chen wanted. Luoyu was Lu Chen's childhood friend, and his character was impeccable. Lu Chen felt reassured leaving this matter to him. The next day, after going online, Lu Chen checked the guild information. It was now full of 2,500 members, but the guild was about to level up to level 6, and there would be an additional 500 slots. He told Leng Nuo to leave a slot for Luo Xiaohe. After taking care of the trivial matters, Lu Chen returned to the preparatory arena. After passing through the arena, he soon reached the foot of a mountain. There was a stone tablet in front of him. Immortal Trail Forest. There is no quiet place in the mortal world, seeking the traces of immortals. This is the Immortal Trail Forest. Are there any immortals here? Lu Chen thought of the old individual immortal that he had met before. What level was an individual immortal at? Speaking of which, did those who came to the Immortal Trail Forest in the past get the treasures in the forest? Were the so-called treasures given away for free? Lu Chen did not understand, but at least he had a chance. Since it involved treasure hunting and had something to do with immortals, Lu Chen had to call out his right-hand man, Rhubarb. Rhubarb, I'll leave the treasure hunting to you. How about it? Woof woof. Very good. I knew you weren't an ordinary dog. I can't find such hidden treasures. I'll have to rely on you. A man and a dog walked up the mountain. Hey, Rhubarb, do you think I can beat your original owner? With nothing to do, Lu Chen chatted with Rhubarb as he walked. Woof woof, woof woof woof. Damn, I'm still your current master. Do you have to look down on me like this? After walking for another 10 minutes, the forest ahead became foggy. Lu Chen looked at the side of the mountain. Unknowingly, they were already halfway up the mountain. "Rhubarb, they said there's a treasure here. I wonder if it's true. Haven't you found anything yet?" Rhubarb wagged its tail and led Lu Chen all the way to the top of the mountain. When they finally arrived at the top of the mountain, there was no one there. There was only a flat boulder and a few pine trees. Woof woof. "Ah! There's a treasure under the rock." Lu Chen was surprised. The rock seemed to be connected to the mountain. Perhaps it was an exposed part of the mountain. It didn't seem like it could be moved. The only strange thing was that there was a chess piece in the center of the flat boulder. The black and white chess pieces on the chessboard were like two giant dragons. They were entangled and there was no clear winner. There were two stones beside the chessboard that looked like two stone stools. Perhaps there were two masters who played again but left in a hurry without a clear winner, leaving behind this game. Immortal Trail Forest Mission, Heavenly Might Chess Game, unique. Lu Chen was stunned when he saw this. The mission is unique? Since the mission is still here, doesn't that mean that no one has completed this mission? Lu Chen looked down for a while. Mission description: thousands of years ago, Celestial Venerable Ling Tian played chess with the heavens here and left behind this game. Mission content: help Celestial Venerable Ling Tian win by half a chess piece. Mission reward: Celestial Venerable Ling Tian's gift. Lu Chen was sweating profusely when he saw this mission. Big brother, win my ass. You think too highly of me. I don't know how to do this. Fortunately, there was Qiandu search. Lu Chen had just taken a picture and was about to go online to find the answer when he suddenly stopped. That's not right. You asked me to place the white chess pieces. Where are the white chess pieces? Lu Chen looked around the stone platform. Not to mention the white pieces, other than the chess pieces on the chessboard, where else could there be other chess pieces? In an instant, Lu Chen suddenly understood why no one had completed this task yet. It was simply unsolvable. Not to mention whether or not he could solve the game, the key was that there were no extra chess pieces. This was like a mission that required a specific item, but the system did not give him the specific item. How could he complete this mission? Damn, it's really a divine mission. According to what you said, this is a chess game from thousands of years ago. It's been thousands of years, so the extra chess pieces should be long gone. Lu Chen tried to pick up a chess piece on the chessboard. However, no matter how hard he tried, he could not pick it up. It was indeed a chess piece used by the immortals and the heavens. So heavy. If there were other chess pieces, they shouldn't have disappeared. Lu Chen sat on the stone and thought hard. The mission is difficult, so no one has completed it. If I can do it, I'll get treasures that others can't. No, I have to think carefully. On the top of the mountain, fog lingered. Looking up, one could see a sea of clouds. It was as beautiful as a fairyland. However, Lu Chen had no time to appreciate the beautiful scenery. He sat on the stone bench alone and thought hard. This chess game was definitely not an ordinary chess game. How could the heavens let him win so easily? Therefore, it would be useless to go to Qiandu to find the answer. No chess pieces. Maybe it's because I don't need chess pieces to beat the heavens by half a chess piece. If I don't need chess pieces, what else can I use to place the chess pieces? No, I'm thinking wrong. I should be thinking about what can beat the heavens. What can beat the heavens? That's a chess piece. Then I'll go and find that chess piece. What can beat the heavens? There's a saying, man can beat the heavens. Yes, the opposite of the heavens should be man. The reason Celestial Venerable Ling Tian couldn't place the last chess piece was because he was already a Celestial Venerable, not a man, so. I'm the last chess piece. Just as Lu Chen finished speaking, the chess game in front of him suddenly changed. The originally small chess game suddenly became extraordinarily huge. The entire huge rock turned into a chessboard, and every chess piece was about the same size as Lu Chen. Lu Chen suddenly changed from a spectator to a player in the game. From the changes in the chessboard, Lu Chen had found the chess piece. That chess piece was himself. However, before he could be happy, the chess pieces around him suddenly changed. The chess pieces were no longer chess pieces, but a large group of people in black and white robes. The two armies were facing each other. These people were all humans, but they looked slightly different, just like the difference between the humans in District 19 and the other districts. These people were glowing all over, holding all kinds of weapons and looking at each other. Lu Chen stood in the middle of the two armies, and suddenly the pressure on him doubled. Damn, what the hell? These people are shining all over. At that moment, Lu Chen received a system notification. Detected that the player has both Divine Might and Demonic Might. Heavenly Might Chess Game upgraded. Heavenly Might Chess Game, Celestial Demon Heavenly Punishment, Unique. Lu Chen blinked. What the hell is going on? I don't even know how to clear the low-level one, and now you're upgrading it for me? Have you considered my feelings? Give up Divine Might and become a demon, or give up Demonic Might and become a god. Heavenly Might Chess Game will automatically lower the difficulty to the previous level. Otherwise, you will be permanently obliterated by Heavenly Might Chess Game. Please choose 1. Give up Divine Might 2. Give up Demonic Might 3. Accept Celestial Demon Heavenly Punishment. Mission Reward, none. At this point, Lu Chen finally understood. Great, he hadn't solved the previous problem at all, and Heavenly Might Chess Game had forcefully pulled him in. Celestial Demon Heavenly Punishment was the upgraded version of Heavenly Might Chess Game, and there wasn't even a mission reward. Not only that, but he was also forced to give up Divine Might. How could there be such a mission? Other people come here to complete missions and receive rewards, but when it comes to me, it becomes obliteration. What does it have to do with you whether I become a god or a demon? I worked so hard to get the divine blood and demonic seed. It's also my nature to be a god and a demon. Why should I give up one? Celestial Demon Heavenly Punishment, right? Come on. I don't care if you're a god or a demon. I don't care if you're some celestial Lord Ling Tian or the heavenly Dao Tsang Tsang. My fate is in my own hands, not the heavens. If you can't kill me today, I'll kill my way to the 9 heavens in the future. Chapter 381. Lu Chen had already made his choice. He knew that what he was about to face would be the most terrifying battle in history. Over 300 super powerhouses with dazzling gold equipment, regardless of black or white, would see him as an enemy. Speaking of which, even though Lu Chen was getting stronger and stronger, he could still meet even more terrifying existences time and time again. Both armies shouted in unison, "Kill!" Lu Chen's nostrils flared as he tore off the human skin. Possession of the God of War. Devil Transformation. Lu Chen's 2 opening skills were also a god and a devil. A huge God of War virtual image was guarding a terrifying devil. Clone. Endless Sky Flame Pillar. Black Coffin Dead Zone. At the same time, a chess spirit was speechless. Child's play. Where do you think this is? Even your divine aura and devil aura will be suppressed by us, let alone this yellow-grade technique. Stop your pointless struggle. You're no longer tolerated by the Jiutian. Formation, Heaven's Might Double Dragon, Strangle. Nameless successfully cleared the preparatory arena. Countless people were green with envy. I wonder what good stuff he'll get. Sigh, that guy was already so strong. Now he's even stronger. But it's actually a good thing for us. Ever since the Immortal Poison Master became the guardian of the arena, almost no one can enter the Immortal Trail Forest. Now that he's killed the Immortal Poison Master, it might be easier to deal with another guardian. Yeah, many powerhouses have gone to the preparatory arena to sign up. There was indeed a sea of people in front of the preparatory arenas of the various galaxies. Although each region had its own preparatory arena, only one person could enter the Immortal Trail Forest. Hence, the Immortal Trail Forest was shared. Many people looked at the celestial mountain and sighed. In the end, someone still went in. At that moment, people suddenly saw dark clouds covering the mountaintop in the direction of the Immortal Trail Forest. Lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. In the blink of an eye, the dark clouds had shrouded the entire second heaven. Everyone heard the terrifying sound of thunder. Boom, 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 boom. The clouds in the sky rolled and gradually formed two enormous black and white dragons. At the same time, 4 words appeared in the sky. Heaven's Might Double Dragon. At that moment, even the players who were not in the arena could not help but look up at the sky in surprise. Oh my God, what is this? Who unleashed their divine might? Impossible, it's impossible for a second celestial layer to have such powerful divine might. This has already affected the entire heaven domain. What the hell are those 2 dragons? What level of cultivation method is this? The 2 gigantic dragons circled around for a moment before abruptly plunging down. Fuck, it's the Immortal Trail Forest. What's going on? What happened there? Is it a fight between immortals? At this time, the 5 people from Wood Mansion who were leveling up in Dragon Zhanya were also looking in the direction of Fairy Trail Forest. Xiao Tian was already dumbstruck. It's the Heaven's Might twin dragons. My God, why would there be a high-level Earth-level cultivation technique in the second layer of heaven? This is impossible. Not only is it a high-grade Earth-grade cultivation technique, but it is also the strongest high-grade Earth-grade cultivation technique, the Heaven's Might cultivation technique. This power is comparable to a heaven-grade cultivation technique. Who was it? Why can he break through the restrictions of the 9 heavens? Jiu's eyes widened. Her heart suddenly chilled. Something's wrong. It's him. Jiu and the others had naturally seen Lu Chen's previous matches. Lu Chen's performance had undoubtedly shocked the 5 of them once again. They also knew that if there was someone in Fairy Trail Forest at this time, it must be Nameless. Oh no, this is a strike from the upper heaven. It might directly kill the player. Ba Men was also shocked. Wan did not seem to understand this. She asked, kill? Is it really killing him? No, the second layer of heaven is still in its protection period. It won't directly kill the player, but it will directly hit him to level 1. His attributes, equipment, abilities, and everything else will be wiped out. Even if Nameless was not killed, such a punishment was enough to frighten people. From a super expert to a level 1 newbie in an instant, it would wipe out all his previous efforts and achievements. How cruel. No. Don't. Jiu's heart ached. She still remembered when he first came to the second layer of heaven, he was ignorant and dared to go against the sacred gate, refusing to submit to power. She remembered that guy brought a group of wild monsters and caused her team to be annihilated. It was somewhat abominable, but it also seemed like an unintentional act. That guy generously told her how to use the 7 stars chasing the moon and was actually dissatisfied with the amount of bounty she gave him. Did he think that it was meaningless? He was arrogant yet approachable. He let her keep the equipment and wanted to split it equally with her. He trusted her. He single-handedly challenged tens of thousands of Sacred Gate disciples and wrote off all the unfair terms in Sacred Gate City. He was domineering and fair. Although he was just an ordinary human and did not have a terrifying background like them, he stood proudly in Jiutian with his own strength and character. Jiu had always wanted to return the equipment to that guy, but, don't die. Don't let me lose the chance to fulfill my promise. Don't. However, in the second layer of heaven, who could withstand such a terrifying technique like the heavenly mighty twin dragons? Jiu's eyes were filled with tears, and she secretly made up her mind. Even if you return to level 1, I will wait for you and personally deliver the equipment to you. At the peak of the Immortal Trail Forest, two giant dragons with unparalleled heavenly might pounced on Lu Chen. Lu Chen had never seen such a powerful technique before. This was beyond his understanding. This technique shook the heavens and earth, and there was no way to avoid it. Indeed, they wanted to kill him. Lu Chen pressed his lips together, and his nostrils flared. However, Rhubarb was still beside him, and Rhubarb would definitely not be able to withstand such a powerful attack. At the critical moment, Lu Chen did not use the blood sacrifice shield. Instead, he rolled on the ground and hugged Rhubarb. Woof woof. Don't talk nonsense. I promised your master that I would take good care of you. It's just that I might not have the chance to bring you along in the future. If you are still alive, go back and tell the three fools to continue living in the spirit-gathering mountain range. There won't be any danger there. Let's go. Lu Chen threw Rhubarb down the mountain. At this moment, the double dragon strangulation had arrived. Divine might of mortal body. Divine might of mortal body. However, just as the chess soul said, Lu Chen's first level of divine might and first level of demonic might were directly ineffective. Lu Chen did not have time to think. Blood sacrifice shield. Just as he activated the skill, the two dragons had already arrived. The two dragons blasted towards the peak of the Immortal Trail Forest with unstoppable momentum. There was a loud boom. Countless people heard such a loud sound, and immediately after, they saw the two dragons' gigantic bodies charging towards the peak of the Immortal Trail Forest. The entire mountain peak was flattened inch by inch, obliteration, a true obliteration. An unparalleled pain came. Lu Chen was suffering from an unprecedented continuous supply of energy. The 8 million blood sacrifice shield was instantly reduced to ashes. The first life was instantly exhausted. Then, the second life was instantaneously killed again. The third life. His HP was instantly depleted. The damage value above his head could no longer be displayed normally, and the 3 HP bars were disappearing one after another. When there was only a sliver of HP left, Xiaomin activated the possession skill to avoid death. However, in the face of divine might strangulation, Lu Chen already knew that it was impossible for him to hold on. In the end, he was still defeated. Woof woof. In a daze, Lu Chen seemed to hear Rhubarb's voice. Was he hallucinating? Rhubarb had clearly been thrown down the mountain by him. In his panic, he did not know if it would fall to its death. But at least it was better than standing beside him. Standing beside him meant certain death. Even if it did not fall to its death, it would take a long time to climb up from the foot of the mountain. As an ordinary Chinese rural dog, Rhubarb could not have climbed up so quickly. Woof woof. Rhubarb did not come. All Lu Chen heard was its voice. However, a white figure suddenly appeared in front of Lu Chen. Chapter 382. That person stood in front of Lu Chen, his hands resembling the 8 trigrams dragon. He shouted, "Primordial heaven and earth shield." With a hum, a transparent shield formed in an instant. The two dragons collided with the heaven and earth shield. Lu Chen could still feel the ground trembling, but the two dragons could no longer get close to him. "Break for me." The old man shouted again, and the light shield suddenly exploded. The two powerful cultivation techniques collided, forming a shockwave in the air that spread out infinitely. After a while, the two dragons were finally destroyed, and the hundreds of chess souls of the heavenly might chessboard turned back into chess pieces. This. What a powerful technique. Lu Chen's eyes widened. In front of the heavenly might twin dragons, he was powerless, but the old man broke the heavenly might chessboard in one move. In the sky, the dark clouds gradually dissipated, and the heavenly might chessboard's environment also disappeared, and it returned to the small chessboard from before. The old man turned around slightly, and helped the heavily injured Lu Chen up. He raised one hand. Silent nourishment. Recovering 1 million HP per second, Lu Chen, who was almost depleted of HP, recovered to full HP in 4 seconds. Lu Chen stared at the old man with wide eyes. Old man, it's you. This person was the itinerant immortal old man that Lu Chen had met a few times before. The old man smiled. Kid, you're really lucky. You actually managed to hold on until I arrived. Come, take a seat. Lu Chen sat on the stone bench. Old man, thank you for saving my life, but why did you save me? The old man took out a teapot and 2 green jade cups, and slowly filled them up. He pushed one of the cups to Lu Chen. Lu Chen frowned slightly. Add 50 spiritual energy. He still remembered that the old man's cup of tea added 50 spiritual energy. It was comparable to a mini immortal pill. The old man smiled. 50 spiritual energy is probably not enough for you now, right? Lu Chen laughed. Sorry, even if it's only 5 spiritual energy, I can drink until you go bankrupt. The old man laughed. This kid was almost beaten back to level 1 just a second ago, but in the blink of an eye, he was full of energy again. Speaking of which, he kind of liked her personality. At least it was better than crying endlessly or thanking him profusely. It made him feel less burdened. You asked me why I saved you. Lu Chen drank 50 spiritual energy points without hesitation. Yeah, I don't think we're close enough for you to come and save me. We don't, but Rhubarb likes you. Since it asked me to come, of course I have to come. Rhubarb? By the way, where is Rhubarb? The old man released Rhubarb. This time, when Rhubarb came out and saw that Lu Chen was fine, it wagged its tail and laid down beside Lu Chen's feet, expressing its joy in its lazy way. Rhubarb, I've only been apart from you for half a year and you've already recognized your new master. The old man smiled. Woof woof. Well, okay, you said he saved you. That's a reason. Although the old man complained, his expression did not show any dissatisfaction. Rhubarb, so it's you. Ha ha ha, thank you. Lu Chen patted Rhubarb's head. The old man smiled. Of course, that's only one of the reasons. The real reason is... Do you still remember what I said when we first met? Mad God or nameless, it's up to you to decide who you want to be. Lu Chen stopped smiling. I remember, but I don't want to be Mad God or nameless. I'm me. The old man nodded. Along the way, I've seen your behavior. You're both good and evil. You have a selfish side, but you also have a selfless side, a vicious side, and a forgiving side. Maybe this is the real human. Isn't this the form of existence that coincides with the heavenly Tao? Lu Chen frowned. Old man, what you're saying is too profound. The old man smiled. You're still too inexperienced, so of course you don't understand. Maybe you'll understand in the future. Anyway, the reason why I saved you is to see how far you can go. 9 heavens, how many heavens can you go? Lu Chen frowned slightly. Even if I can't defeat the heavens boss, doesn't that mean I can go to the higher heavens? The old man hesitated. I'm just an itinerant immortal. If I fail to become an immortal, I'll either disband or become an itinerant immortal. I'm tired of starting from the heavens, so I chose to become an itinerant immortal. Since you're an itinerant immortal, you'll be restricted in some way. That's why I can't reveal some things to you in advance. Lu Chen listened carefully. Take the players on Earth for example. Even if they reach the 3rd heaven, do you think they can survive in the 3rd heaven with their current strength? Lu Chen shook his head. With their current strength, it would be difficult for them to survive in the 2nd heaven. They had to quickly increase their strength. That's the reason. Even if they have the chance to go to the 4th heaven, do you think they'll go? They won't. The old man nodded. That's right. With their current strength, it's impossible for them to go to the 4th heaven. Moreover, each heavenly domain is a heavenly domain, and each heavenly domain after that will be much harder than you can imagine. Lu Chen finally understood the old man's meaning. In short, the higher you go, the more difficult it is. The strength required is also more terrifying. That's right. Old man, you said you need to follow some kind of restriction. Then wouldn't you be breaking the rules of the game by saving me? The old man was calm. That's right. And it's against the wishes of the senior immortal and the heavenly Tao. So, I might not be able to help you for a long time. Lu Chen's heart sank. In order to save him, the old man had to accept some kind of punishment. At this moment, Lu Chen received a system notification. Activate the unrewarded optional mission, Save Mu Xian, mission description, itinerant immortal Mu Xian broke the rules to save you. He will be imprisoned in the Heaven's Punishment Tower 9th floor, mission content, break through the Heaven's Punishment Tower and save Mu Xian. Lu Chen slightly narrowed his eyes and looked up at the old man. Heaven's Punishment Tower, where is it? The old man was stunned for a moment. But then he understood that this kid already knew. You received the mission. The Heaven's Punishment Tower is in the third heaven. Lu Chen took a deep breath. Okay, wait for me. The old man smiled and did not speak nonsense. He raised his teacup and looked at Lu Chen with a smile. Okay, this old man will wait for you. Receive the mission, Save Mu Xian. Lu Chen's mission tab had an additional mission. After drinking 3 cups, he obtained 150 spiritual energy. But the old man's teapot did not seem to have much immortal dew left. Mu Xian stood up and was about to leave when he suddenly thought of something. Oh right, Heavenly Might chess game, Heavenly Punishment actually has a mission reward. Oh. What reward? The old man looked at Rhubarb. Lu Chen immediately understood. Rhubarb definitely knew. That's not right. I didn't complete the mission either, Lu Chen said in surprise. Tisk, of course you couldn't complete it. Didn't I help you complete it? The old man smiled and shook his head. That works too. What's wrong with that? My main account is just carrying a side account to complete the mission. But you're an NPC. The old man smiled and shook his head, not continuing to explain. Okay, I should go. You'll have to rely on yourself in the future. With that, the old man's figure blurred and disappeared in front of Lu Chen. Lu Chen let out a long sigh. Although the Heavenly Might chess game this time was considered a punishment beyond his level, Lu Chen still felt that he was not strong enough. In front of the Heavenly Might twin dragons, he could only be beaten up. Okay, looks like I have to keep getting stronger. Only then can I break through the Heaven's Punishment Tower. Rhubarb, don't just stand there. Hurry up and find the treasure. Chapter 383. Rhubarb stood up lazily and used his body to nudge the stone platform. The stone platform that was originally as solid as a rock actually shook a little. Could it be that the stone platform was shaken by the fight just now? Lu Chen quickly got up and moved the stone platform. There was a secret door under the stone platform. Lu Chen pulled it open, and there was a dazzling gold chest lying inside. Damn! There's a dazzling gold chest. Lu Chen was stunned. He quickly carried the chest out. Lu Chen sat on the ground and rubbed his hands. I love opening chests the most. Bless me, bless me. There will be a few more top-grade items. He opened the chest. Congratulations, you have obtained the Advanced Tier 3 Array, Heaven's Might 4 Kills Array, Heaven's Might Chess Array, Advanced Earth Tier Heaven's Might Technique. The Heaven's Might Chess Array has 300 chess souls. It can use 4 types of Advanced Tier 3 arrays to attack the target within the array. Heaven's Might 4 Kills Array, Heaven's Might Killing Array, Close Combat Attack, Physical Attack, Heaven's Might Arrow Killing Array, Long Range Attack, Physical Attack, Heaven's Might Rock Killing Array, Earth Elemental Attack, Heaven's Might Sky Killing Array, Heaven's Might Attack, Learning Requirement 1, Agility greater than 9,000, Spiritual Force greater than 11,000. Learning Requirement 2, Unlocking the Level 2 Heavens Purgatory difficulty or Level 3 Heavens in your server. When Lu Qin saw the array, he was so shocked that his face turned pale. Fuck, it's actually an advanced Tier 3 array. This is equivalent to an advanced Earth tier technique. And it's 1 against 4. What kind of awesome array is this? Lu Qin did not encounter many talisman masters. This was not because talisman masters were weak. On the contrary, it was because talisman masters were too strong. They were so strong that they leveled up slower than other professions. How strong were talisman masters? Currently, there were only 3 types of techniques for other professions: Yellow, Mystic, and Earth tier. Talisman masters were ranked according to Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 to correspond to these 3 types of techniques. However, if other professions encountered a talisman master of the same level, once they entered the array, their chances of winning were extremely low. Poison masters are difficult to deal with, and one has to be careful when fighting with them. However, when it comes to talisman masters, especially those who specialize in formations, it is best to avoid fighting with them as much as possible. If you insist on fighting with them, you probably won't be able to defeat them. If they set up a formation to trap you, you would have to face not only a terrifying formation, but also a powerful talisman master. The difficulty would be equivalent to 1 against 2, 1 against 3, 1 against 4, therefore, if one really wanted to fight with a talisman master, it would be best not to enter his array. However, it was very difficult to do so. Due to the frightening power of magic arrays, as long as there were magic arrays that could be used by all classes in the auction house, they would basically be insta-killed. However, the chances of finding formations in the wild were still too low. The best way to learn high-level formations was to be a professional formation master. Of course, the strength of a formation master was largely dependent on the strength of the formation he used. At present, the number of talisman masters who could learn rank 3 Earth-level formations could be counted on one's fingers. However, Lu Qin directly obtained a super formation that could use 4 rank 3 advanced formations. This Heaven's Might 4 Kills formation is definitely the strongest rank 3 advanced formations. Lu Qin said excitedly. For other professions, it was very difficult to have agility greater than 8,000 and spiritual energy greater than 11,000. Even for spiritual and agility formation masters, as their main attributes, they would need to reach a very high level and cultivate for a very long time before they could learn it. However, for Lu Qin, this was not a problem at all. His 4-dimensional development was balanced, and all of them far exceeded the average. This restriction was completely useless to him. The only condition that was not met was that the server Lu Qin was on had not opened the purgatory difficulty. Damn, I have to open the purgatory difficulty now. Lu Qin carefully kept this treasure. Although he might not be able to use it now, in the near future, this formation would surpass the Heaven and Earth 8 Desolations and 3000 Body Blink Slash and become Lu Qin's strongest trump card. He had already explored the Immortal Trail Forest. Although Lu Qin did not complete the Heaven's Might Chess Games mission and did not receive Senior Immortal Ling Tian's gift, he received something even better. The Heaven's Might 4 Kills formation should be a reward that could only be obtained after completing the Divine Demon Heavenly Punishment mission. The quality was definitely better than Senior Immortal Ling Tian's gift. It actually had to wait until the purgatory difficulty or the 3rd heaven was opened before it could be used. From this, it could be inferred that this reward should not appear at this stage. Rhubarb made a contribution again. Lu Qin hugged Rhubarb. Ha ha ha, awesome. Rhubarb, I realized that you are the real treasure. You especially helped me find treasure chests. Rhubarb was elated by Lu Qin's praise. It did not even recognize its own family as it walked. When those divine beasts see it in the future, they will have to treat it with respect. Ah, it's true that one is bound to have good fortune after surviving a great disaster. Good, good, this trip was not in vain. Lu Chen was in a good mood. Oh right, there's still a divine herbalist valley up ahead. Let's go take a look. Right now, I have to work hard to improve my strength so that I can save Mu Xian in the future. I can't miss out on these places. Rhubarb, follow me. If there are any treasure chests, tell me. Humming a little tune, Lu Chen led Rhubarb happily on the road to Divine Herbalist Valley. Lu Chen happily went to the next stop. However, in the second heaven, there were countless people who were shocked by the battle in the Immortal Trail Forest. My God, the Immortal Trail Peak was almost razed to the ground. Is this still a battle between humans? Why did those two giant dragons suddenly disappear? Nameless couldn't have survived, right? That's impossible. That kind of attack is beyond our imagination. I think someone from the upper heaven must have come down. It's said that after the upper heaven's attack, one would return to the starting point. That Nameless couldn't have really become a level 1, right? Joer was standing there in a daze, looking at the Immortal Trail Peak from afar. Ninth sister. Don't think about it. He can't possibly survive the attack of the Heavenly Might Twin Dragons. That's not a skill that should exist in this layer of heaven. Joer's eyes were slightly red, and she seemed to have lost her soul. But why would someone from the upper heaven come down? What did he do? Why are they treating him like this? Lu Chen did nothing. He was seriously trying to solve the Heavenly Might chess game. The reason why he was attacked by the upper heaven was because he had two types of heavenly might. Moreover, it wasn't someone from the upper heaven who came down personally. They only left behind the heavenly might chess game in an attempt to kill Lu Chen. Of course, no one else knew about this. Xiao Tian sighed. Ninth sister, let's go. We still have a long way to go. We can't stop for him. Otherwise, the family. Yeah, some people are just passers-by in our lives. We don't have time to stop for them. Ninth sister, don't forget what we have to face in the future. Joer closed her eyes in pain. She felt wronged and heartbroken for Lu Chen, but Brother Tian's words constantly reminded her that their manor had more important things to do. That's right. Ninth sister, I know that Nameless came from a world called Earth. He has a close relationship with a guild called Frenzy. Let's keep his equipment for them, Chi Chi said. When he returns to the second heaven, he should be able to use it. Joer's heart ached even more. Starting from the first heaven. Leveling up might be faster, but they all knew that many important opportunities in the Jotian were one-off. Earth had already reached the second heaven, which meant that billions of people had already swept through the first heaven. He could no longer grow to become nameless. If he became an ordinary person, then there might not be any more interactions between them. Is our fate really going to end here? Joer lowered her head, her heart aching. Chapter 384. When Wood Manor's people came to Earth Village and found Kuang Lang, the atmosphere was very heavy. Joer gave all the equipment she had picked up to Leng Nuo. If he can make a comeback, give these to him. Joer's eyes turned red as she spoke. Leng Nuo didn't feel good either. She nodded heavily. I believe that even if he had to start all over again, he would still become the strongest. He did so much for us, but in the end. I'm sorry, I lost my composure. Joer nodded. She could understand this feeling. After thinking for a while, she took out a voice transmission talisman from her bag and gave it to Leng Luo. This is my personal voice transmission talisman. If you encounter any difficulties in the future, you can come and find me. If I can help, I will. Thank you. Xiao Tian sighed. Such a talented person. He's gone, just like that. My condolences. Ba Men shook his head. I used to envy him. You could even say that I was jealous. But who knows the loneliness of standing at the peak? Who knows how much he went through to become the strongest? This is 10,000 gold coins. It's a small token of our appreciation. If you know where he is, please help us pass it to him. This way, he won't lack money until he reaches level 50. Leng Noa trembled as she received the money. Ying Jun walked over and said to Leng Noa, Noa, let's not tell Yi about this for now. They are very good friends. I'm afraid that Yi won't be able to take this blow. Ying Jun knew that Lu Yi was Lu Chen's sister. After Li Muhua talked to him, he could only say that they were friends. Lu Yi was still leveling up outside. With such a strong brother, she had always been working hard. I know. But, I'm afraid that paper can't hide the fire. This matter will soon be known by everyone. If we can hide it for a while, it'll be a while. Ying Jun sighed. Xing Chen also walked over. I've already sent people to the first heaven to see if we can find him. Ning Shuang shook her head in a daze. Master, from such a high position, suddenly has no one to rely on. I think with his personality, he won't let us find him. Master. Ning Shuang's eyes turned red. I will wait for you. As expected, news of this incident spread. After all, it was not only the people of Woodland Mansion who knew about the strength of the twin dragons of Heaven's might. Some parties with powerful backgrounds also guessed that Nameless might have been reduced back to 1 level. The global village was in an uproar. Did you guys hear? Nameless has been knocked back to level 1. I heard about it. Is it true? Oh my god, it can't be. Nameless bro is so strong. Didn't you see the commotion in the Immortal Trail Forest? Holy shit, it's earth-shattering. The second heaven player who led our group said that no one in the second heaven could survive such a technique. Brother Nameless is no exception. Sigh, it's such a pity. Nameless bro has always taken good care of us. It's all thanks to him that we have the money to buy medicine now. Yeah, Nameless bro is the pride of our Earth server. But now. Sigh, I'll go take a look at Wild Waves and see what I can do for them. A group of high-level players suddenly appeared in the newbie villages of the First Heaven. They were all asking if there were any newcomers recently. There were definitely newcomers, but no one had seen Nameless bro before. The legendary Huaxia war god Nameless seemed to have been erased from Zhoutian. Lu Qin did not know what he had seen, but he kept sneezing today. Moreover, Louis had just called him and asked him some weird questions, and Li Muhua had also called him. Chen, how many drinks do you want tonight? Why? Sigh, it's nothing. Who hasn't experienced it a few times, right? Just don't keep it to yourself. Lu Qin blinked his eyes. Why did this guy's tone sound so similar to Lu Yi's? No matter what you become, we'll always be brothers. Damn, wasn't that Lu Yi's original words? Lu Yi was right. Brother, no matter what you become, you'll always be my brother. Lu Chen was dumbfounded. I don't want to drink, I still want to play games. Ah, I'm relieved to hear you say that. At least you didn't give up. Lu Chen's face was full of question marks. Why would I give up? Oh, right, there's a super beauty today. Damn, she's so beautiful, like a fairy. She ran over and said that she owed you a lot of equipment. She gave them all to Noa Noa and asked you to come and get them later. Is she called Joer? Hee hee, you guessed it right away. Looks like you guys really have something going on. Not bad kid. You won't even let go of an alien. You have a strong taste. In order to ease Lu Chen's depressed mood, Li Muhua purposely said something happy. What nonsense are you talking about? I've only met her a few times. Sigh, anyway, she didn't even look at me. She said that she was waiting for you to come and get the equipment. I can't use those equipment now. Finally, they reached the main point. Lu Chen had indeed become level 1, so he couldn't wear these high-level equipment. Li Muhua felt that it was a pity, but he couldn't show it. That would only make Lu Chen sadder. Cough cough, well, it's okay. Nua Nua said that she'll wait for you. These equipment will always be kept until you can use them. Brother, I won't say anything else. I believe that you're a resilient guy. Good luck. Lu Chen was dumbfounded. What was this about? The people around felt that something was wrong. Forget it, they didn't have much time to be normal anyway. He was used to it. After hanging up the phone, Lu Chen didn't know that the outside world had spread the news that Nameless had reincarnated. There was a benefit in not knowing, it wouldn't affect his mood. Ah, this is Divine Herbalist Valley. Divine Herbalist Valley was rich in pills, but Lu Chen didn't learn alchemy, so he didn't pick the herbs when he saw so many. After walking for a short distance, Lu Chen saw a herbalist standing not far away, bending over to take care of the herb garden. The old man also noticed that someone was approaching. He stood up straight and looked at Lu Chen. Someone actually came to Divine Herbalist Valley. Lu Chen walked over. Hello, old man. Hello, young man. Do you have a mission here? Lu Chen went straight to the point. Seeing an NPC in a deserted area, Lu Chen's first reaction was to ask for a mission. A mission? If you have time, you can do me a small favor. Activated Opportunity Mission, Yao Lao's Troubles, Mission Description, 300 years ago, an unknown creature appeared in the herb garden. It often stole the herbs that Yao Lao cultivated, which made Yao Lao very troubled. Mission content, capture, biting rat, mission reward, a number of immortal pills. Lu Chen was very touched. He finally received a mission that seemed normal. The reward was an immortal pill. It was not bad, and the mission was not difficult. It was very cost-effective. Accept the mission. You're tuning in to the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.